Good morning and welcome to the University of Wisconsin in Madison at Goodman Diamond here for the Division 5 state semifinal is the number 2 seed Assumption Royals and the number 3 Oakfield Oaks. Team A's alongside Paul Jaglinski and Mike Wenlett here this morning. Paul, it's an early morning, but it's going to be a fantastic softball game. Assumption trying to punch their ticket back to a softball state championship game.
It's a great day to be a Royal, Steve. It's a beautiful sunny day out. The temperature is perfect for softball, as you had made mention. You got the lake in the background. And the Goodman softball complex here is absolutely spectacular. Field looks in great shape. You'll notice you've got 200 on the line, 218 to the, let's call it mid-corners, if you will. And then Mike and I were talking about the fact that we're guessing it's maybe 225 if somebody's going to go ahead and hit one off the scoreboard today. So just a beautiful layout here in what I think should be an outstanding softball game between two very competitive teams that have built two of the more impressive programs in the state.
16th appearance for the Oakfield Oaks in their illustrious history for high school softball. The Assumption Royals making it back down, I think the 7th time in school history. Assumption coming off of a impressive playoff run so far. Olivia Strum, Port Edwards, Columbus Catholic, and we saw them take down Seneca last Thursday. Much tougher for the Oaks. They played in one of the top sectionals in the whole state, taking down. They beat Fall River in their first game, but then a tough game against Johnson Crick, 6-2. Barneveld, who Assumption beat in a championship game last year, 6-5, and then comeback fashion against Belmont last Thursday. Fell behind 5-0, came back and won 7-5. So they're three seniors on the team, but they are a very tested and a very experienced team at that.
Yeah, absolutely. For both of these teams, Steve, I think you're going to go ahead and see the old adage where iron sharpens iron. Both of them are, as we talked about, very proud programs. Both of them have played very tough schedules. Both appear to have a pitcher that can really sling it. Obviously, for Assumption, with Ava on the mound, you got to like your chances against anybody. But I think this is probably the best hitting team that Ava has faced all year long. She obviously did not throw in the game against Pacelli, and she did not throw the second game against Auburndale. But if you look at Assumption's record, any game that Ava has pitched and thrown, they're undefeated in. They've not lost in. So this will be an excellent challenge to see how that matchup goes. As the girls are right now, the coaches and captains are at home plate, greeting each other, and we're about to get umpire instruction. Do we do a coin flip, or is Assumption the home team is the higher seed?
Assumption's the home seed. Yep. They will. They'll do the meeting, and then they will line the girls up along the baselines, and then they'll introduce, and then we'll have the national anthem. Assumption in their road blue uniforms with white pants, blue stripes down the side. Oakfield in their pinstripes. We've seen Assumption. Assumption's got a couple of different options for jerseys, and all of them are pretty slick and pretty clean, and today they're wearing their blue tops. So we'll see how that pans out here this afternoon, or this morning. Goodness, that might take a while. But Oakfield out of the Trailways Conference, 16-0 in the conference, 24-3 coming in. Their lone losses are to some pretty good schools. New Holstein, they lost to Marshall and Chilton, but cruised right through the Trailways Conference again this year. Oakfield fell in the sectionals last year on their trek to make it down here, but I talked to the girls about it on Monday. Kind of joked about it yesterday with them when they were here watching. 8 a.m. It's obviously not an ideal start time, but the championship Saturday for Division 5 is at 8 a.m., and I think they're ready to go and ready to show off here today.
Yeah, the Royals are going to line up and are going to be in the third base dugout for those of you listening at home. And by the way, thank you for joining us here on Zaleski Sports. Oakfield is obviously then on the first base line, and where they're just at the point of the game here where they're going to go ahead and they're going to do an introduction of the players on the field. Will we listen to that, Steve, or will we go ahead and do our own?
We'll put our headsets down, Mike, and we'll listen to our PA announcer Dan Pfeiffer, PA today here at Goodman Diamond in Madison.
Number 3, Ryan Gilbert. Number 4, Alyssa Vang. Number 6, Mackenzie Rigo. Number 7, Ryan Shep. Number 8, Alexis Udenau. Number 9, Ellie Amonsa. Number 10, Elizabeth Stallman. Number 11, Krista Sobel. Number 12, Caitlin Bobrecht. Number 13, Olivia Robinson. Number 14, Lacey Patton. Number 15, Danielle Cadman. Number 16, Stella Hoffman. Number 18, Savannah Pack. Number 27,
You guys are from Zielinski. Did you guys do the Springs Stratford State semifinal for football? You guys did fucking great. I was the quarterback for Springs.
Brittany Sugar. The head coaches are Charlie Nelson and Rob Schmidt.
When I go back and watch the game, I listen to you guys.
Good luck to both teams. Now let's play some softball.
Welcome back to Goodman Field here in Madison, Wisconsin for your WIAA Division 5 state semifinal game between the Oakfield Oaks.
Welcome back to Goodman Diamond here on the beautiful campus of the University of Wisconsin in Madison for today's Division 5 state semifinal. The Oakfield Oaks out of the Trailways Conference and the Assumption Royals, of course, out of the Merriwood South. They will do battle here in about just a couple of minutes here from Goodman Diamond. It is a picture-perfect Friday morning here in southern Wisconsin. And, Paul, we got some of the top umpires, I guess you could say. Two local guys, Jason Wolf and A.J. Legman on the base paths. Two guys that umpired last night. Two guys we've seen umpire a lot. And you mentioned it. You mentioned it a lot, over and over and over. But it's quite the privilege and quite the honor to come down here and umpire state softball.
Yeah, absolutely. I think anytime you can make a state tournament, you always think about there's obviously 2 teams on the field, but there's a third team, of umpires. And, a lot of selfless young men, young women, older women dedicate a lot of time in the fall and the spring and in the winter, and it's a nice reward for them. In order to take a look at it, you got to be at a master level. You got to pass a couple tests. You got to have the appropriate coach ratings in terms of where it goes. And then, when your name is called, it's your opportunity to shine. So it's one of those deals. You got to get the calls correct, safe and out. It's just a big badge of honor. So congratulations to all the umpires down here and to all the referees, officials, umpires that give up their time and work these games. We appreciate you. Even though sometimes as a coach we're frustrated by you, we'll say, again, without an umpire, it's really just playground ball. So we really appreciate them on the field.
Absolutely right. That's why I'm sitting up here, so I don't have to take a test to do any of that stuff. But looks like we're going to start a little bit early here this morning. Not too bad about that here from Goodman Diamond. I'd like to thank our game day sponsors before we start: Rapid Shimano, Sparhawk Trucking, and Scott Krug Realty. Caitlin Volbright will lead things off for the Oakfield Lady Oaks. Yeah, 59 degrees, picture perfect. Volbright coming in at 464 as a team, 490 or 479. A team that likes to smack the ball around a lot, and they will have their hands full against one of the top pitchers in the state in Ava Schill.
Steve, one of the things that I think you'll be interested to see with Oakfield is they average about 6 or 7 bunts a game. So they're going to put the ball in play. It's going to force Assumption to have to make some fields. So the first pitch from Ava Schill
is at 7:58, and it is good for a strike. And we are underway here this morning, Division 5 state semifinal. The winner will take on Pacelli tomorrow morning, just about the same time. Pacelli comeback winners last night. We'll get into that here in just a moment. The 0-1 from Ava is good for a strike, and it's 0-2.
Obviously, congratulations to the Pacelli Cardinals. What an exciting ball game that they played with McDonald Max last night, coming back and scoring 5 in the 5th, or in the 7th, to go ahead and earn that victory, and again to set up a date with the winner of Assumption and Oakfield.
The 0-2 from Ava just misses a bit high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Congratulations to the Iola Scandinavia Thunderbirds as well, knocking off the defending Division 4 state champions Grantsburg last night. They will take on Waterloo, comeback fashion, taking down Stratford yesterday. The 3 games we had last night were sensational. Now it's fouled off of Volbright in the box. Iola winning. Stratford had a tough loss last night, and then Pacelli in comeback fashion last night. Expect more of the same today. A lot of good softball. I talked to Charlie Nelson and Rob Schill, one of the deepest softball tournament fields that has ever been here in Madison. The 1-2 misses high, 2-2.
Steve, to that point, when you get down to the state softball tournament level, each of these teams is really talented. They can really hit. They can really field it in terms of where it goes. So the difference in these games typically boils down to 1 or 2 plays. So congratulations to each of those teams.
2-2, line to right, coming in, and it's going to fall in front of Galbraith, and a leadoff base hit for Caitlin Volbright. And Oakfield's got a base runner here in the top of the first inning.
I would fully expect we are going to see number 15, the second hitter for Oakfield, lay down a bunt. I would be very surprised if we did not see Tennille Tademan lay down a bunt here to advance that runner.
They have no stats on stolen bases for the Lady Oaks. And she bunts that one up, and Schooley almost made the diving play along first base. And we saw last year, or I wasn't here, but with the highlights and what I was able to see, just how sensational the Assumption defense was last year at state. In sectionals, there are 2 games in sectionals, no errors. And it's a team that's looking to peak at the right time. No balls and a strike to Tennille Tadman. Squares a bunt again, gets it down right to Schooley, over to first, and there's the sacrifice that Paul was mentioning, and there's 1 away.
So for Oakfield, now you put a runner in scoring position in the opening inning. You bring up your 3, 4, and 5 hitters where a a hit gets you on the board, gets you an early lead. And against Ava, I think it's so important. We've talked about this a couple times, Steve, that once Ava gets settled in, she's so tough to go ahead and get hits off of that I think you have to get to her early, and I think that's what Oakfield's strategy is this morning.
Olivia Robinson at the dish, 583 for the junior center fielder, and there's a swing and a miss. Again, we kind of joked about it in the sectional against Seneca that I don't know all the terminology when it comes to pitches and all that stuff, but that looked like a little bit of a screwball, as Rob Schill had mentioned, when it cuts back in. The 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Olivia Robinson.
To that point, Steve, it was low, it was inside, and it was nasty.
Yeah.
So, which is kind of the case. So 1 ball, 1 strike, runner on second base, 1 away here in the top of the first inning in the ball game here between Oakfield and Assumption. Thank you again to all those joining us at home for state sectional semifinal softball.
Good crowd on hand here from both sides. Assumption traveling better than they did last year, from what I was told. Good contingency of Royals fans making the trip down to Madison. Again, tough loss for the Assumption soccer team last night against a good Lodi team. See some of those soccer gals down here today after that tough loss, making the early morning drive down here to Madison. The 1-2 from Schill. High, and it's 2-2.
I think to that point, Steve, this group of sophomores, juniors, seniors, this group of high school athletes right now are very close. They're very supportive of each other. A lot of them are teammates in basketball and volleyball, even though they play different spring sports. So it's great to see the collaboration and the celebration of success by them coming down and supporting each other.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Robinson. Just misses outside. Counter runs full. Good patience here by the Lady Oaks, a team that has struck out 44 times this year. 96 walks to 44 strikeouts. So that's good patience from the Lady Oaks out of the Trailways Conference.
Yeah, to that point, it was 2-2 when it was a 2-strike hit.
That was going to be popped up. Long run for Schooley, and she makes the catch.
Wow.
And there's 2 away.
So, Steve, we talked about it in the pregame that this is a big field with a lot of room in foul territory. Second time in the inning, Anna Schooley has made a diving attempt. This time, she traveled maybe 20 feet, laid out on a ball that was over her shoulder, make a spectacular catch for a huge second out. Now 2 away, and here it brings up the pitcher, Alea Lemansky. Am I taking
think Allie Lemansky.
Allie? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. She's the pitcher.
Oh, that is a Y, not an A. My bad.
First one to Lemanska is good for a strike, and it's 0-1.
For those of you listening at home, it's on the scoreboard, and it's only about maybe 6 feet tall. So the scoreboard itself is probably 25 feet, but the Y is about 6 feet tall. So how I thought that was an A is beyond me. But my apologies for those listening at home. I apparently need to take the sunglasses off and get the prescription glasses.
Runner at second. That was going to be fouled, and Lemanska is quickly behind. No balls and 2 strikes. You see just the effort that Anna Schooley at 8 a.m. this morning, she's laying out on a bunt and a phenomenal play in foul territory. And again, it helps when you have a 6-foot first baseman for in girls softball. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's one of those deals where again can't undersell the impressiveness and importance of that play from Anna Schooley. Well, just a fantastic catch.
No balls.
Sure that you'll be able to see that on highlights later.
No balls and 2 strikes, 2 away. Schill to Lemanska. Misses inside and getting away. And a good secondary lead on the pass ball, and Volbright is at third base, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Good read there by Caitlin.
As we get a little Bruce Springsteen's in the back, "Baby We Were Born to Run." I do like the the feel and the energy of the stadium. The WIAA I think does a really nice job with this.
I will tell you what, yesterday, and the games that we were here yesterday, the sound effects, the music was top notch. They do like you just mentioned, they do a very, very good job down here.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 away. The importance of that runner advancing from second to third, Steve, is now Ava's got to be a little bit careful in terms of putting one in the dirt.
The 1-2. And it gets by, and that's, as Paul just mentioned, and Oakfield takes the lead on the wild pitch.
It changes what the pitch call could be, and that's pretty rare. Those are 2 balls that hit Kristen Casey's glove, and both of them scooted away from her. That's something we've not seen this year, but Oakfield, despite the play from Schooley on a pass ball and a
Pass ball and a wild pitch, I
A
think.
pass ball and a wild pitch, goes ahead and manufactures a run and takes an early lead. 1-0 Oakfield in the top of the first. Nobody on base, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Schill wheels and deals. And misses high. The counter runs full to Lamanska. Stella Hoffman awaits on deck, then Marissa Kotke for the Oaks.
I'm sure Coach Nelson and Coach Hill will tell the girls that, hey, we were going to have to score in order to win anyway, so not a big deal in terms of shake it off. But I think it's important that they get out of this inning right here.
3-2. It's going to be a line to center and a 2-out base hit for Allie Lamanska.
Again, Steve, I think you may mention 96 walks compared to 44 strikeouts. Oakfield, we talked about being one of the best hitting teams that Ava has faced. Part of the reason for that is they're so patient. They wait for a strike. They're willing and comfortable to take the count deep. And then when they do get a pitch they can hit, they've been able to handle it and put more balls in the outfield, I think, in this game than what we've seen during the entire playoff run so far.
Laney Shep coming in to run for Allie Lamanska. And now Stella Hoffman, the left fielder for the Oaks, at the dish with 2 outs and a run across here for Oakfield, leading 1-0 in the top of the first.
So, Steve, let's play the what-if game. Are you putting her in motion, trying to get her in scoring position?
Well, let's see. They don't have any stolen bases, or stolen base. And there's a strike. We saw it in the sectional final that Kristen played sensational. A pickoff at first and a caught stealing at second. Tried to get Shep sleeping over at first base. The 0-1 to Stella Hoffman. She'll fires home outside. Throw back down again, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
So it's interesting to see Kristen go ahead and keep her in check, trying to make sure that lead stays light. Kristen maybe trying to just keep that arm loose in the event that they do try to go ahead and send her in motion. 1-0 Oakfield, though, here in the top of the first inning. 1
ball, 1 strike. Ava comes back off the knuckles, and the count runs 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ava's been able to get 2 strikes on these girls, but again, they have patience and good hitting team.
Yeah, their approach at the plate, Steve, has been very, very, very impressive. They do not look rattled, intimidated, and or anxious in any way, shape, or form, do they?
1 ball and 2 strikes. And there's a strikeout for Ava Schill to get out of the inning. 1 run on a pair of hits and 1 left. We played a half an inning. Oakfield 1. Assumption coming up. You're watching high school, or you're listening to WIAA High School State Semifinal Softball on Zaleski Sports.
Little Sprouts is now open in Rudolph with the same great childcare you know about in Auburndale. Here's Brooke Sievers to tell us about it.
The community here in Rudolph has been extremely welcoming, and we're excited to serve here just like we do up in Auburndale. Part of the process is to help out the school districts and to help the children stay, their 4K children to stay close and get services right here. We serve here in Rudolph 1-year-olds up until 12-year-olds, and up in Auburndale we serve 6 weeks old until 12-year-olds.
Our Auburndale pea pods, wiggle worms, busy bees, and fireflies welcome the Rudolph sweet potatoes, lovely ladybugs, and beautiful butterflies. Contact Little Sprouts Learning Garden on Facebook today.
Welcome back to Goodman Diamond. It'll be the starting lineup that the Royals have used the last couple of weeks. Kristen Casey, Anna Schooley, Ava Schill, Claire Nelson, Sadie Galbraith, and Macy Vollert, Malia Colo, Lydia Smits, and Ari Kavanaugh. Kristen Casey to lead things off for the Assumption Royals against Allie Lamanska. Allie 16-3 this year, an ERA of .88, 0.88. 95 innings pitched, 49 hits given up, 24 runs, 12 of them earned, 36 walks, and 124 strikeouts.
The left-handed batting Kristen Casey steps in the plate. Steve, again, we talked about the importance of getting Kristen on base because of her speed and aggressiveness.
And the first one to Kristen misses. One of the
high and tight on that first pitch, Steve. Interesting to see her work. See her get worked inside.
One of the most prolific, I guess that's a word to use, base stealers in the state. That was going to be it. Grounded over to short. Tadman. And there's one away. 1 up and 1 down for Anna Schooley on 2 pitches.
You know, so you've seen Kristen be able to go ahead and take advantage of putting that ball in play and using her speed down the outside. So I thought it was interesting to see the shortstop playing in on her like there were bases full. With the item that's kind of the case. Might be something where Kristen takes a look at trying to slap it over her head and take an extra base hit kind of going forward in the game. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
And it took a very nice bounce for Tennille Tadman over at short to play it right up at her chest and go right into the motion of throwing over to first. Anna Schooley at the dish, 5:37 for the sophomore first baseman. Lamanska in the circle. The 0-1. Missed high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. That's a pitch that the Royals have struggled with this year, is the high fastballs and the risers that they've struggled to swing at this year.
It looks like a donut in the morning for me. You know it's not good for you, but you can't resist it anyway.
That's fouled off the end of the bat. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Anna with the dirty uniform, as we talked about, her effort and energy in the top of the first inning was pretty impressive. Missed on the dive, the first dive for the pitch, but then made the great over-the-shoulder catch for the 2 outs when that runner was on second, and then unfortunately, fastball wild pitch, and that runner was put on board. That being stated, Steve, Assumption has really come on hot in the second half of the season. They were cold in April, as April was pretty cold in general, except for the night that we broadcasted Assumption in Stratford. But in May, the bats have come alive.
The 1-2 popped up and out of play. Rustic Redefined provides a boutique shopping experience with unique and affordable clothing and accessories to fit your individual style. Shop Rustic Redefined on 8th Street in Wisconsin Rapids. Again, we can't thank you all enough for tuning in. We can't thank our sponsors enough for getting us down here and helping us all year long. Schooley pops this one up, foul territory. Look out back here. Near our good buddy Keegan Hewitt standing out over there. And 1 ball and 2 strikes to Anna Schooley. 37 driven in at a 5:37 mark for Anna.
For those of you listening at home, unlike the professional ranks, you have to return the softballs here. You do not get a souvenir at the state tournament.
The 1-2 misses outside, and the count runs even at 2-2. Oakfield wanted that one. We have been not spoiled, but in the good attendance, or not attendance, but 2-2 to Schooley. Swung out and missed. There's a strikeout, and there's 2 away. Good presence, I guess, of some very good plate umpires here this weekend so far.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Always 2 things. First of all, when you look at the strike zone from the crowd, your angle, even at our place behind home plate, where we're just a little bit left or right, looks very different than what theirs does behind the plate.
Ava Schill at the dish, pops this one up, and 3 up, 3 down for Allie Lamanska. A good start for Oakfield. We've played 1 complete. It's 1-0 Lady Oaks. We'll be back after this on Zaleski Sports.
Save during the summer tire event at Sherrill Tire and Service Centers. Up to $150 back on a select set of 4 Goodyear tires. Buy online or mail-in rebate when you use the Goodyear credit card through June 30th at Sherrill Tire and Service Centers. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
Hi, this is Jill from Home Furniture and Design. Since 1970 and 4 generations, our family has been proudly offering quality furniture like Lazy Boy, Serta, and Amish to Central Wisconsin. We also offer free in-home design with our professionally trained designers to help you create a space that is uniquely yours, whether it's just a sofa or the entire home.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
West Grand Avenue, Wisconsin Rapids, and Post Road in Plover.
Marissa Kottke to lead things off here for Oakfield in the second inning. Kottke, Sable, and Tap for the Lady Oaks. 24-3 on the year. 16th state appearance for the Oaks softball team. And before we get to the second inning, Spectra Benefit Solutions. They've got offices located throughout central Wisconsin. Spectra Benefit Solutions is your group benefits provider for health, dental, accident, and life insurance. Spectra Benefit Solutions works with hundreds of clients of all sizes to help you attract and retain the best employees. Find Spectra Benefit Solutions on Facebook to get started today. Marissa Kottke to lead things off. She's a designated player today for Oakfield in their white uniforms, orange pinstripes.
It is a pretty sharp look, I have to admit. You've got the orange pinstripe socks that kind of just match with it nice. It's an appeasing color.
First offering from Ava rolls in there for a ball, and it's 1-0.
to be honest with you, it kind of makes me think of autumn and fall with that little orange color. And before you know it, the leaves will be changing. It's amazing that we're already at the middle of June, and that we're at WIAA State softball. It seems like the school year has just flown past.
We got a handful of state baseball games next week for you as well, with Spash making it, Altoona and Edgar, the Wildcats, for the first time in baseball history. Last year was the first time in softball history. And, we'll get through this weekend with a lot of good games and then a handful of good ones next week as well. The 1-1, squares the bunt, fouls it back, and off the knee pad of Kristen Casey, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes for Marissa Kotke.
So, Steve, we had talked about the fact that again, Oakfield averages 6 to 7 bunts a game. This is the second batter that's already attempted a bunt. The first was able to lay down a successful sacrifice. This, obviously, Marissa looking to go ahead and bunt for a base hit. But it's really that putting the ball in play is something that is going to have to keep Assumption on their toes, and it's what allows them to battle back when they do fall down.
The 1-2 popped up to Schooley, and she makes another nice catch over at first base, and there's one away. Anna's busy so far this morning, and now Krista Sable for the Oaks.
So again, Ava doing a good job of keeping that ball inside. That's the second or third time we've seen a hitter hit it off the hands towards Anna in terms of where it goes. Ava doing a good job working it high, low, left, right.
Krista Sable at the dish. That's going to be back over to Schooley, and she takes it herself again, and there's 2 away. 3 unassisted, and Anna's got 3. That should have been 3 to 4. She's got 4 of the 5 outs so far for Assumption.
That's a good thing. It's one of those deals where, Anna is and I mean this respectfully, she's a human vacuum over there. Is that we've seen her during this impressive 2-year run make some spectacular plays at first.
Now Savannah Tapp looks at a strike at the knees, and it's 0-1.
And Anna fields a lot of balls that have been low in the ground, picked high, with her 6-foot frame. She makes a lot of challenging plays look very routine. She's obviously a great hitter, but so valuable to this Royals team in the field.
No balls and a strike. Schill fires home. Popped up, foul territory, and top of the dugout. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. Top of the first base dugout for Oakfield.
So, Steve, let me ask you this by design. Is it that the Oakfield hitters are late on Ava's fastball, or are they intentionally trying to take the ball to the right field? Where we've seen, you talked about how many outs have been recorded by Anna. We had the opening base hit at the right fielder.
Yeah.
You haven't seen them try to pull a lot of balls. Is it they can't pull it, or they're just trying to go to the opposite field?
The 0-2, and that was going to be foul territory. Galbraith makes a run at it. Probably a little bit of both, I think. I mean, that's late swings result in those, and yeah, I mean, Ava, we've seen Ava the last many years, and her fastball low to mid 60s, and it's one of those things. The 0-2.
In the spirit of just continuing to talk about 8 a.m. energy, that was really good hustle out of Sadie Galbraith there. We talked about the size of the foul territory. There's got to be 30, maybe 40 feet of foul territory out there, and Sadie covered a majority of it. We don't always see Sadie cover that much ground.
1-2 smacked past third, and it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. First one we've seen hit to the left side of the field for the Oaks. Talked to Sadie before the game. She said she's ready. She said they were ready to go, and they were here watching Stratford last night, left the stadium a little before 9 o'clock to get back to the hotel and get rested up and get ready to go for this morning.
20 hits on the season and a 4.08 average for Savannah Tapp, the junior catcher from Oakfield at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Misses outside, and it's 2-2.
Again, the patience for Oakfield is impressive. Yep. It's one of those deals they're making Ava throw a lot of pitches, and they're just not chasing anything that's outside of the zone.
2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Schill wheels home. 2-2. Going to be hit to deep left, and that one's going to just be fouled by a couple of feet, maybe a foot and a half, and it remains 2-2.
Be interesting to see if that backs Kavanaugh up a little bit. Ari, I think, got caught playing a little flat-footed and you can definitely see all of a sudden she's backed up and moved a little bit further down the line. That ball was absolutely scorched. And again, that probably maybe 180 feet, 188 feet. the 200 down the lines, this field is 200 feet to the mid corners, if you will. The 45-degree angles, maybe from home plate, it's 218, and center field obviously 225, and that ball was hit hard. That's we talked about, can they pull the ball? The answer is absolutely if they want to.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Savannah Tepp. Schill fires back, going to be hit over to Colo, and the sure-handed senior will throw over to first end the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We've played an inning and a half. It's 1-0 Oakfield. Back after this, Zaleski Sports.
We said we're growing, and we are. Come join the Crystal Finishing family. We're looking for experienced industrial maintenance mechanics, CNC fabricators, all driver positions for our freight team, as well as skilled and general production. We know the importance of a work and life balance. Our shift options and flexible schedules set us apart. Our pay ranges from $17 to $43 per hour depending on your skill level. We're proud to be a family-owned company that is committed to our community, team members, and the growth of our business. Call or jump on our website to learn more.
Don't let pain or mobility issues keep you from enjoying life. Let our physical therapy doctors and our staff at Roberts Physical Therapy help you recover your ability to move easily and live free of aches and pains, providing effective individual treatment plans. Whether you're experiencing problems with balance and mobility, you're experiencing pain in your low back, or you're dealing with any other physical challenges, we'll take care of you. For more information on how we can service your needs, contact us today.
Welcome back to Goodman Diamond. If you're not awake now, the music here at Goodman Diamond will pump you up and get you awake here from 8 a.m. start. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 for the Assumption Royals, one of the hottest hitting players in the whole lineup. And Claire Nelson will lead things off.
Yeah, Claire has definitely been locked in, the last few weeks. Steve, since we've got just a little bit of a break in the action as Oakfield is on the mound speaking, I just wanted to take an opportunity to wish a happy wedding anniversary to Sarah Jaklinski, my wife. 22 years for us today, so appreciate her being along for the journey. Pretty patient as I've been able to do some coaching and some different things, so consider myself to be fortunate, so wanted to wish her a happy anniversary as Nelson steps in for the first pitch here in the bottom of the second.
That one's going to be fouled right off the end of the bat, and it's 0-1. Galbraith and then Vollert for the Lady Royals. Mobile Link in Wisconsin Rapids is your go-to for car and boat services, including window tinting, remote start, and accessorizing. That's Mobile Link on 8th Street in Wisconsin Rapids. The 0-1 to Claire. Misses high and off the mitt of Tap.
So Nelson, Galbraith, Vollert, and if anybody reaches base, Colo in terms of where it goes. So 4, 5, 6, 7 in terms of where it goes. So far, what's been your feel on how this game has started?
Oakfield couldn't have started any better in the top of the first, getting that run against Ava. Now it's misses high to Claire, and Royals, unlike the Oaks in the first, were set 1, 2, 3, and Lamanska is as good as advertised so far in the circle for the Oaks. 2-1 to Claire, and it's 3-1.
What's interesting, and you can see kind of a little bit of a tone already from Nelson, Assumption being the defending state champ felt like
now Jason Wolf heading out to the circle to talk to Ali Lamanska.
Obviously talking about some form of a legal pitch or something that he does not like in the delivery. That's what a first base and a third base umpire would be responsible for when there's nobody on base, just for those listening at home.
One of the top umpires around, Jason Wolf. The 3-1 to Claire Nelson, going to be driven to the left, and ranging over and making the play is Stella Hoffman, and there's one away.
Nice to see Claire Nelson and the Royals take some pitches. What I was saying, Steve, is that, Assumption being the defending state champ, I expected would come in confident and calm, and maybe Oakfield would be a little bit more anxious at the plate. But in that first inning, you saw Assumption swinging at the early pitches and Oakfield being really confident at the plate. So it was nice to see Claire take some pitches, hit a hard hit ball to the left. Really nice play out there by our left fielder, Stella Hoffman.
Galbraith looks that one just a bit high. Sadie Galbraith, 377 on the year. This one thing that I would want to ask these girls at some point, when you're at the plate and you're just staring at a big picture of yourself up on the scoreboard, I wonder what that what that is like. I don't like looking at pictures of myself, and this is plastered in a massive scoreboard here beyond center field.
No, you're a good-looking guy, Steve. You don't have to feel bad about that.
The 1-1 misses outside, and it's 2-1 to Sadie Galbraith. Macy Vollard awaiting on deck.
Now, somebody with a nose of my size, the problem with it is I'm not sure that the screen is big enough to take up it. But, yeah, that's kind of the case. So 2 balls, 1 strike here. Again, a more patient approach for the Royals.
Gets the call on the inside corner, and it's 2-2 to Sadie.
You know, as Mike was saying in between innings, having watched the state tournament, the umpires have been really good with getting that inside-outside corner. They've also been very consistent with where the top of the zone has been.
2-2. That one misses way high.
Just a bit high, as Euchre would say.
That one missed the top of the zone by a little bit there.
You know, it's one of those, an inch a foot. It's all relative, right?
The 3-2 to Sadie Galbraith. And that one rolls in there. Royals have their first base runner of the day. And just walk number, not very many. Walk number 46 for Allie Lamonska on the year.
You know, it's interesting. Charlie Nelson's not one to normally show a lot of emotion, but he had a pretty nice little solid fist pump, like, okay, here we go, we're in business now. And in steps Macy Vollard. Macy, another hot-hitting Royal with great power, and she's one that with a swing of the bat can certainly give us a lead.
Popped up right field side, long run for Vielbig, and she's going to make the catch. And on one pitch, Vollard is retired.
Steve, again, another first pitch swing. Yep. So 2 approaches there, right? Maybe the strategy from Coach Nelson and Coach Schill is, hey, when you see that first fastball, let's jump on it, let's hit it. But you can see that's a stark contrast from Oakfield, which is, hey, we're going to make her throw some pitches. I'd be curious to see if we get a chance to talk to the coaches afterward. Is that by design, or is it just a little anxious this morning?
Yeah, and Malia heading to the plate. Coach Nelson said, just calm down, relax, and have fun. And the first offering to Malia is drilled to right center. That was going to get down.
Sadie, let's go.
That was going to get all the way to the wall. Galbraith is going to score from first. An RBI triple for Malia Cole. The Royals have tied it here in the second.
Malia Cole, the senior, comes up with a great shot to right center field. That ball bounces off the wall at 218 feet, and Sadie Galbraith, the senior, goes ahead and draws the walk and then comes around the bases to go ahead and tie this game at 1 apiece. Huge hit for Malia Cole. Great hustle by Sadie Galbraith. And just like that, Royals have tied this and created a new ball game here in the bottom of the second.
Malia, who has struggled so much this year at the plate, the last 2.5 weeks, has really found her stroke at the plate. And she has big Malia smile, as she always does. But what a job that was by the senior. First pitch swinging that was. And now Lydia Smits at the dish with Ari Kavanaugh on deck. There's a swing and a miss, and it's 0-1.
I was curious to see if we were going to get at third base, and they were playing in the music, what have you, if we were going to get a Marco Colo from her from that regards. But like I said, big 2-out triple to tie this ball game up where runs look like they're going to be at a premium. Huge hit in this ball game.
1 to Lydia. Misses high with the ooh from Lydia spinning out of the way, almost a little chin music there.
Coach Nelson reminding her we got ice. So Smits, then Ari Kavanaugh, the good-looking freshman player for Assumption, coming up next. And if we can, then back to the top of the order with Kristen Casey.
That is, we talk about momentum and confidence so much in any level of sports. And Malia, just to be able to, she has struck out so much. She has struggled at the plate so much this year. And Smits is ahead in the count 3-1. To have a double, I think, against Seneca, or a couple of big hits in the playoffs so far, just a huge confidence and momentum boost for Miss Colo. The 3-1 to Lydia Smits. There's a swing and a miss behind the fastball, and it's 2-2.
Steve, you talked about the importance of having some senior leadership. Malia's a basketball state champion. She's a basketball state runner-up. She was a big member of the volleyball team that rallied and made a sectional this year, and really comes up with a huge hit. In this particular ball game, that's value of just having experienced seniors and leadership on the team, and hopefully that will settle the Royals. It's one of those deals. That first inning looked a little anxious, but you're seeing more quality, longer at bats here. Hopefully that'll settle Assumption in.
3-2 to Smits. Going to be popped up to center, and making the catch is Robinson to end the second inning. Royals get one back. We've played 2 complete. It's tied at 1 back after this. Celeste Sports.
The Midstate Technical College Healthcare Simulation Center, in a partnership with Aspirus, is a state-of-the-art interdisciplinary healthcare simulation center. It provides specialized spaces and simulation technology equipped with medium and high fidelity mannequins and other equipment to create complex healthcare training scenarios. Visit our website at mstc.edu/simcenter.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.
Top of the third inning we go here from Goodman Diamond. It'll be 9-1-2. It'll be Ryan Vielbig, Caitlin Volbright, and Tennille Tadman. And before we get there, hear from our friends over at Zach's Technology in downtown Wisconsin Rapids. They're your go-to for residential and commercial computer repair, custom-built desktops, off-site backup, and mobile repair. Look to Zach's Technology in downtown Wisconsin Rapids.
Ryan with a quite compact frame. Compared to some of the other Oakfield Oaks that we've seen. I would say she's a young oak.
What do you call that, an acorn, right?
A small oak, you know. Well, I mean, again, how does that work? An acorn is just a small oak in a nutshell. Isn't that how that works?
Exactly right.
It's same theory there. So,
just a sophomore right fielder made a nice play on Macy Vollert's hit, and Schill's behind 2-0 to the number 9 hitter Ryan Vielbig. Then back to the top of the order, and Caitlin Volbright.
Volbright obviously had a single in that first inning to get the inning started and scored this game's only run for Oakfield. So important to
fouled off, and it's 2-1.
Important to go ahead and get Ryan here so that you don't bring the leadoff hitter up with an opportunity to advance a runner and put you in a spot.
One thing that Oakfield doesn't have a lot of are left-handed hitters, and Ryan Vielbig is one of them, but compared to Assumption, compared to a lot of teams, I guess, not a lot of lefties on this Oakfield team, and Schill's behind the count 3-1 to the number 9 hitter. Ryan Vielbig coming in. What number are you, Ryan? Number 3. 5 strikeouts, only 2 walks this year.
Ava has missed outside on 3 pitches. I'm surprised she's being as cautious with the 9 hitter as what she is.
3-1. Now it's going to be fouled off right at the end of the bat, and I was messing up this with my book. I got my scorebook on the mixer, and the volume just kept on turning down. I thought I was losing my hearing.
So 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs here in the top of the third inning. Number 9 hitter at the plate, Ava Schill about to go ahead and deliver. Let's see if Ava just goes right after her.
3 balls and 2 strikes. And misses outside, but gets the call on the backwards K, and there's 1 away.
Ava with pinpoint accuracy there. She was going to work that outside hitter across the board and had been slicing at that outside corner and then decided just to be able to come back at her. So back to the top of the order, and that brings up Caitlin Volbright. Caitlin had a single to right field and then was advanced on a bunt and scored on a back-to-back pass ball wild pitch.
Grounded right back up the middle on the first pitch she sees. 2 for 2 today is Volbright. And there's a runner at first with 1 out here for Oakfield, and see if Tennille Tadman's back up there again to sacrifice herself.
Steve, Volbright is a confident, strong hitter. It's why it was so important to keep Brianna off the base, because you want her coming up to the plate with 1 or 2 outs. You do not want her coming up with the opportunity to go ahead and advance that runner.
Doesn't square that time, does Tadman, and Schill misses high and away, and it's 1-0. Colo creeping in at third. Schooley maybe stays put at first, but we'll see what defensive call the Royals have on.
Interesting little play there. Kristen Casey pops up to go ahead and throw it to first. Volbright kind of stared back at her like, yeah, go ahead and throw it.
The 1-0. Can be popped up, first base side, foul territory, long run, and Vollert can't make the basket catch. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. New life here for Tadman.
Be interesting to talk to Macy on that particular play. She had a very long run. That's a tough play, folks, because of all the fall ground. But where she stepped was grass to dirt on that transition. And even though you know there's warning track, you got fence coming in play. Again, great effort by all 3 Royals over there. Just unfortunately could not come up with that play.
The 1-1 misses high. Throw down to first, and just back in time is Volbright. And it's 2-1 to Tennille Tadman.
So Tadman bunted in the first inning to advance the runner, has not done it since. Don't be surprised, though, at a 2-1 count to see her go ahead and lay it down here, Steve.
2 balls and 1 strike. Ava comes back. Doesn't square, swings and misses. Throw down to first, and just back in time again as Fulbright, and it's 2-2.
Kristen Casey with a really nice play on that ball. It was outside. She went ahead and snagged it, and since she was out there, kind of caught that runner in her field of vision. But that's an important play by Casey after the pass ball in the first inning. That's a really nice play, folks, on that ball to make sure that it was not another pass ball or wild pitch.
2-2 from Schill. Going to be grounded over to Colo and foul, and no play made over there by head coach Rob Schaefer in his second year. 46-8 for Coach Schaefer, taking over one of the most prolific softball programs in the whole state.
Jason Zaleski would be upset with Coach Schaefer. And said, "Hey, Coach, you got to get down on that ball. Got to give some better effort." He was making that comment last night on during his broadcast, and he would be not pleased with Coach Schaefer's efforts.
2-2, high and away. And counter runs full. Mandy Pankratz from Stratford made a couple nice plays over in the third base coach's box last night. And congratulations to Stratford on a phenomenal year, phenomenal run. And Waterloo Pirates will take on Iola Scandinavia tomorrow morning about 10:30 in a Division IV state championship. 3-2, foul straight back.
And yet another 3-2 count here for Oakfield. Be interesting to see, and I'm sure that they have it somewhere. I just got to be able to find it on the board on what the pitch count for Ava Schill is, but it's got to be a surprisingly high number compared to how limited she normally works. Mikey was talking about that last night with Pacelli and the McDonald pitchers. Did she run out of gas a little bit at the end? I wonder if that's also a strategy for Oakfield.
3-2, going to be hit to deep left,
Good
and
foul.
that's going to drift foul again. But she's the 11th hitter, 4th full count already for Oakfield at the plate against Ava Schill.
So 11 full counts, or 11 hitters, 4th full count. So you got to be at least above 60 pitches at this point through 3 innings. Is my math on that somewhat logical?
I think Mike's going to check it out here.
51 pitches for her through 2 complete innings and another third. That's a lot of pitches.
Yep.
Again, it's one of those deals. Obviously, the WIAA does not have a pitch count, and good for assumption that they've got Vollert and Kavanaugh if they need to go ahead and go deep into the bench. But that's kind of an interesting kind of a side story to keep a development on.
3-2, foul straight back. Great battle here by Tennille Tadman with a runner at first and 1 out. We play in the top of the third inning here at Goodman Diamond in Madison. Steve Maves, Paul Jaglinski, Mike Wenlett with you today. We've only got one game today. We had 3 very exciting games last night. This one's shaping up to be a good one as well, and then we'll be back tomorrow 8 a.m. for Division V state championship. 3-2, popped up foul territory, drifting foul. Look out over there, and out of play, and it remains 3-2. Sign up for Fleet Rewards and get great deals sent straight to you. Plus, you'll earn points on every purchase made in-store or online. Sign up now at fleetfarm.com. Get everything you need in one stop. Get it all at Fleet Farm.
I've often said about the Man's Mall, if they don't have it, you don't need it.
The winner of this one will take on Pacelli tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. And Schill lost her. A great battle won by Tennille Tadman in a walk. And there's 2 on for Olivia Robinson.
Steve, I said at the top of the broadcast, for those of you that maybe are joining a little late, I'll reinforce it again. This is by far and away the best hitting team that Schill has faced this year. And their approach at the plate, where they just are so disciplined, they do not chase bad pitches, has been on display so far this morning.
First offering to Olivia Robinson is going to be grounded foul.
In the first at bat, Olivia had a play had a ball that was hit down the first base line that Anna Schooley made the great diving catch on in foul territory to retire her. Obviously, with the runner on first and second, infield fly rule in play here is a possibility.
The 0-1. Swung out and missed at a high fastball. And it's no balls and 2 strikes to Olivia Robinson, the center fielder who made the last out in the last half inning.
Ava's not had any problems getting 2 strikes on these Oakfield hitters, but strike 3 has been a challenge so far, as she only has 1 strikeout, which is very unusual for Ava, who averages a little bit more than a strikeout in half an inning.
The 0-2 going to be driven foul, first base side and out of play, drifting foul, and it remains no balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, 44 strikeouts, so you're not gonna set these girls down easy.
Boy, and Oakfield has, down both lines, has hit some balls that have flirted with fair foul, and if they're fair, they were going to be big trouble.
The 0-2 back to Robinson. Allie Lamanska waits on deck. Schill wheels and deals home. Going to be popped up. Shallow center, long run for Smits, and she makes a diving catch. Another phenomenal defensive play. She fist pumps, and there's 2 away.
Lydia Smith covered about 50 feet on that, Steve. She had a late break and then came in, and as she came in, a diving layout attempt. This is a second Sports Center highlight quality catch. Coach Nelson and Coach Schill always say about this team that pitching and defense will travel. We are seeing that fully on display this morning. Outstanding grab by Lydia Smits.
Lydia Smits, a girl, again, I don't know her extremely well, but a girl that usually doesn't show a lot of emotion, and that was a lot of emotion on that catch from Lydia.
What I'll tell you about Lydia Smits, though, is she is a natural leader and a girl that the other players gravitate to. She's got a great energy and vibe about her. And, last year in the sectionals final against Blair Taylor, we saw her make that over-the-shoulder catch. This one equally spectacular.
The 1-0. Oh, man, just missed outside, and it's 2-0 to Allie Lamanska. Single in the first inning for Allie on the first on a full-count pitch.
Yeah, again, runners on first and second. I think even though it's 2-0, I think Ava wants to be really careful here in terms of what you want to take a look at it. Your 28 hits on the year, a 500 average, 30 RBI, 732 slugging percentage. Allie is just a solid hitter.
There's a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike to the Oakfield pitcher, Allie Lamanska. Mutual of Wausau Insurance, protecting homes, farms, and businesses. It's 1875. Visit mutualofwausau.com to find an agent near you. The 2-1 from Schill. Mrs. Lowe, and that one gets away. Another wild pitch, and runners advance 2 in scoring position now.
That ball definitely bounced in the dirt. It's a wild pitch in terms of where it goes. What's interesting is it looked like it caromed off the front of the plate. So Kristen is rubbing her arm, her fielding arm. That ball came up and hit her in the glove. Just an opportunity. She tried to get her body in front of it and could not smother it. So again, second and third, now a base hit probably puts you down 2 runs. Ava's really got to go ahead and focus in here.
3 balls and 1 strike to Lamanska. Schill fires home and walked her a little high, and bases are loaded for Stella Hoffman.
Honestly, that's kind of one of those, I think, intentional, unintentional walk here, Steve, where I think it's one of those deals where you set up a force at all the bases, and I don't think you really wanted to go ahead and challenge your fourth hitter in that particular situation. I think that's probably a good decision. And out comes Coach Schill to go ahead and talk with the Royals. Again, 2 outs. No room at the end, so we got to come out and be aggressive with this player. You can get a force at any bag. Got to be careful of the wild pitch pass ball, as that's responsible for really the only run in this particular ball game. So we certainly can't have that. But I think Coach Schill just went ahead and wanted to come out and just settle down his individuals just to make sure they're set to go.
Unlock the best home, auto, commercial, and personal loans in the Rapids area. Key Savings Bank. No matter what you're financing, Key Savings Bank has the personal touch to put you at ease. Dream big with small rates at Key Savings Bank. Thank you as well to Key Savings Bank, our scoreboard sponsor all school season long here for the Assumption Royals. Base loader for Stella Hoffman. Strikeout victim back in the first. Mrs. Lowe, 1-0 to start to the Oakfield left fielder.
Interesting with Stella. So she's got 17 hits and 33 at-bats. That's a over 500 average in terms of where it goes. But only 33 at-bats seems like a light number of at-bats.
Yep. Yeah, I think so. The 1-0. And
great play by
Casey throw it down to third and just back in time. And Kristen Casey saved a run that time. And the count runs 2-0 on a high outside pitch.
Second time this inning, Kristen Casey has made a terrific play behind the plate where she's been able to reach out and snag a high outside fastball to save a run, and that one definitely did there. Great play by Kristen, but once again, Ava finds herself 2 balls, no strikes. Got to come after her here.
There's a swing and a miss at the screwball in the inside corner. It's 2-1. Bases juiced, 2 balls and 1 strike and 2 outs.
Steve, I hope the folks at home understand the intensity and the nervous energy going on in this particular ball game. These are 2 really good teams playing a high-level softball game right now.
The 2-1 from Ava Schill. Sets and fires. Misses inside, 3-1. Nowhere to put her. And Schill's falling behind again. 2 walks this inning for Ava Schill. Claire Nelson trying to give her some encouragement here.
Ava's got 2 walks and 1 strikeout in the game. I don't know if I've ever really remembered a time when we've gotten to this deep in the ball game where it's been more walks than strikeouts for Schill.
The 3-1. Hitters count right down the gut, and the count runs full.
The take sign was on the full way. She was going to put that bat on her shoulder the entire way, was going to make sure that Ava threw her a strike. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners will be in motion here. That's kind of an interesting side note just as an FYI, because it brings interference and a few different things in play here, Steve.
3-2 from Schill. And going to be lined to Galbraith. Overhead, that's going to go all the way to the wall. 1 hop the wall, 1 will score, 2 will score. And it's a 3 RBI double for Stella Hoffman, and Oakfield breaks it open 4-1.
Second time in this particular ball game we've seen the Assumption Royal outfielders just get caught playing too shallow on a hard hit ball that got over her head. That's a spot where for Galbraith, when that ball, certainly it's a hard hit ball, but that ball did not land even on the warning track in terms of where it goes, but it was a hard hit line drive to right field and a huge hit in this particular ball game, and Oakfield answers Assumption's 1 run with 3 of their own, and they've taken a 4-1 lead here in the top of the 3rd inning.
Now Marissa Kotke at the dish. A pop out to Schooley in the 2nd inning. There's a strike to Marissa.
Kotke with 18 hits at 43 at bats on the year, which is a 419 average. So again, Steve, just challenging to get through this lineup consistently across the board. They take a lot of pitches. They've got a very patient approach, and there's just not a lot of outs to be had in this lineup.
1 ball, 1 strike to Kotke. Krista Sobel awaits on deck. Royals will have 9-1-2 in their 3rd inning, and Schill's once again behind the count, 2-1. Kotke, the 7th hitter of the inning for Oakfield.
Oakfield really doing a nice job of starting to time Schill.
And another wild pitch, but Casey able to snag it down. And it's 3-1 now to Marissa Kotke.
That's her 75th pitch. Thanks, Mike. So Mike just shared that's her 75th pitch through 2 2/3, not even through 3 innings.
That was a foul at the plate, and the count runs full.
So it's an interesting question, Steve. Can and Mike, maybe I'm not really quite sure. What's a pitch limit or a pitch count or a pitch number for a softball pitcher? Like I wonder. It's not. I know the WI doesn't have it, but at what point do you find a little bit of a diminishing return?
Yeah, we'll see. The 3-2 ground ball. I know that when New London and Medford played a couple of weeks ago in I think it was a regional final or a sectional semifinal. I think Martha Miller was at like 160 or something in 11 innings. So, I mean, we're in the 3rd inning and she's already at 76. But, yeah, it's
credit to Oakfield. Their approach at the plate has been patience, patience, patience. It seems like every count has been 3-2, this one included again.
The payoff here once again, and lost her again. And 3rd walk of the inning. Wow.
Pitch, so Ava's going to be now well over 80 pitches by the time we get out of this particular inning. 3 walks to 1 strikeout. Claire Nelson in to go ahead and settle down Ava, who, of course, will be making her way over to UW Green Bay to be a proud Phoenix pitching for Green Bay next year. But not the start that we would expect out of Ava.
Absolutely not. 2 away, still 2 outs. Kristen Sobel, a ground out to Schooley, her first time up. There's one at the knees for a strike, and it's 0-1. Savannah Tepp awaits on deck. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. 4-1 Oakfield, 3 across here in the third.
21 hits, 17 RBIs for Sobel on the season.
That was going to be popped up, foul territory. Schooley ranging over, and that'll end the third inning. But 8 come to bat for the Oaks, and they scored 3. They leave 2, and they lead 4-1 after 2.5. We'll be back to Madison after this on Zaleski Sports.
Bauer & Feind has been based in Marshfield since 1955. And if you're in business that long, you're obviously doing many things right. We always focus on selling world-class products, backing it up with world-class customer support.
Working with Bauer & Feind Business Technologies has been a pleasure. We have staff on call that we can call if we ever have issues, and the printer usability has been really easy, user-friendly.
Give us a call, visit our website. We'd be happy to come in, talk to you. Maybe there's a way we can help you save some money and work more efficiently.
Rustic Redefined is the Wisconsin Rapids area's local boutique clothing store for women and children. Find a personalized shopping experience with excellent personal service and unique and trendy styles. Enjoy a great variety of always changing outfits, tops, purses, shoes, accessories, and so much more. Rustic Redefined has your unique style ready for you at an affordable price. Find your look on 8th Street South in Wisconsin Rapids, or keep up with all the newest options on Facebook at Rustic Redefined.
It'll be 9-1-2 due up for the Assumption Royals here in the third inning, and they've got some work to do, trailing 4-1 against the Oakfield Oaks. Oakfield coming in 24-3 on the year, cruise through the Trailways Conference, and the Royals are, again, there's still a lot of ball game left. We saw 2 comebacks yesterday, but might be a different it's a different monster to slay here today.
You know, they just put it on the board as Ari Kavanaugh steps in, takes the ball to start the inning, 1 ball, no strikes. But it was just on the board. Spash has got the most WIAA state tournament appearances with 18. Ball 2 is taken up high by Kavanaugh. Ashwaubenon has got the second most, 16, but Oakfield has got the third most now with the 15th appearance. This is a team and a program that is used to getting here, is used to being successful.
The 2-0. Kavanaugh, line foul. Look out over there.
I think, you know, just to build off of that, Steve, one of the things that's impressive about the body language, you saw in between the inning, the coaches were kind of dancing and loose. The players were dancing and loose. Like, there's no intimidation or what have you. They expect to be here. They've taken a real disciplined approach. Oakfield has been impressive so far in this game.
2-1 to Kavanaugh, misses high, and it's 3-1 to the speedy freshman, Ari Kavanaugh.
Little change-up action, missed up high, but again, that's the first real off-speed pitch we've seen either pitcher throw in this particular ball game. Kavanaugh up 3-1. Let's see if we can get her on base with her speed.
Lamoska, it hits her on the elbow, and a hit-by pitch, and the Royals start the third inning as they needed with a base runner. Haven't seen an arm yet from Savannah Tepp behind the plate for Oakfield, but we'll see if the speedy Ariana Kavanaugh is off with the pitch.
So it's interesting. So I'm just watching the motion here. The shortstop is bringing in the left fielder significantly for Kristen Casey. If she can line one over the third base line, or if she can just step into one and put it over that left fielder's head.
That's going to be hit into left. There you go. And and a base hit for Kristen Casey.
So that's a little bit of what I was talking about. That's where you wanted to take a look at it. If that ball happens to carry him, that left fielder was only about 10 feet off of the dirt. It's something that Kristen's going to have to take a look at, because I know she's a big, powerful kid.
Yep.
If she can step in and slap one, that might be a big factor later in this ball game. But now runners on first and second, no outs here in the bottom of the third, with Anna Schooley coming to the plate. And with Anna, she's always a swing away from going ahead and dropping the ball in the lake as we look out behind us.
Runners at first and second, nobody out. Strikeout victim in the first. That one's going to be lifted to center. And over the head of the center fielder Robinson. The speedy Kavanaugh's going to score. Kristen Casey around second. They're going to hold her at third. RBI double for Anna Schooley.
That ball was hit on a frozen rope, as they would say. It just had a trajectory, and Mike was kind of making that same motion at me where the left fielder froze on that. So the left fielder for Oakfield the center fielder is Aaliyah Robinson, and she had a break on it and thought, well, I'm going to right and be in position, and it just never came down. It continued to rise. And now runners on second and third with Ava Schill at the plate with an opportunity to hit to tie this game up.
First offering to Ava is right at the letters for a strike. A pop-out victim to short her first time up.
Great speed on the bases for Assumption and a great response. No head hanging, no what have you. Let's come up and battle with a run already on the board.
And this is high to Schill, 1-1, and that was a big hold, I think, for Charlie Nelson at third. When Kristen got to third base, the ball was in shallow center with Tadman, the shortstop. You don't want to make the first out. Now it's going to be driven to left. It's going to be caught and throw it to second. It's going to be out at second, but Casey's going to score. Schooley got caught at second base. It's going to be a double play, but Kristen Casey's going to score.
So Royals get a run. Oakfield gets a double play. I would say both teams are pretty happy with the results. They'll both take that. So, again, 4-3. Assumption gets 2 runs in the inning, nobody on base. Line drive to left field. Left fielder makes a nice play catching it. That is Stella Hoffman. Hoffman then throws a dart to second base, picking Schooley off. But in the meantime, Kristen Casey scores, and it brings Claire Nelson to the bat.
That was going to be hit
That
towards
ball hit her.
first and foul, and it's 0-1 to Claire Nelson.
Jason Wolf had it in terms of where it goes. So our first base umpire helping our home plate umpire, but that ball definitely hit her in the box.
The Royals have tattooed some balls here. Even that one from Ava was a line drive out to left. And Anna Schooley caught off second base.
Stella Hoffman doing a little dance out there enjoying the Journey song.
The 1-0 or the 0-1 misses high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Claire Nelson.
As I said, Steve, watching how loose Oakfield is pretty impressive. There is no nervous energy whatsoever. They are living their best life here down at Goodman Ballpark.
A fly out to left her first time up. That was going to be hit to right, and that was going to get past. That was going to get all the way to the wall. Nelson to first, to second. Claire. Charlie says go 3, and a 2-out triple for Claire Nelson.
Once again, talking about the importance as Nelson rips a terrific hard hit triple to right field on a pole, but talking about the importance of Schooley getting picked off at second base. Just little plays, Steve. In that top of the last inning, there was the ball in foul territory that Assumption got a glove on but wasn't able to come up with. Here, you get a runner picked off at second base, and instead of this game being tied at 4, now it brings Galbraith up with the idea in mind that the tying run being on third base, but still need a hit or a play to go ahead and get this game back to square.
First offering to Sadie is good for a strike. She walked back in the second inning. She came around to score on the RBI triple from Malia Colo. Runner at third, 2 outs, 4-3 Oakfield. Royals with 2 here in the bottom of the third. And that one gets past, and Nelson's going to score, and we're tied here in the third inning.
And just like that, we talk about the importance of where it is. With nobody on, Claire Nelson goes ahead, and he rips a triple, and then goes ahead and makes a great read, scores it up 4-4. Assumption masters the 3 spot from Oakfield, and once again, back and forth we go.
All the drooped heads after that top of the inning. That's maybe more so behind the fence, or not on the dirt, but in the stands, and us and everybody. But the Royals kept their heads up, and they're playing.
We've had 2 diving catches, line drive outs, exciting plays, 4 runs scored in 3 innings, 80 pitches thrown from Ava. If you're not having fun, you're taking a look at it, and boy, that's a lot of action before 9 o'clock in the morning for this guy. Good thing I went to bed early. You were here until after midnight last night watching Pacelli. Congratulations to them. Who's going to face the winner of this game in the Division 5 state championship tomorrow?
3-1 from Lamonska as Galbraith rips this one foul into the seats beyond the first base dugout, and the count runs full. Oakville will have 8, 9, and 1 due up in their 4th inning. As talked about how long the first game yesterday went between Superior and that was fouled straight back. Who did Superior play in the first game? Menominee Falls. That game went long, and it pushed everything else back. And this one is
Well, I'll tell you what, if you get a chance to watch Superior, their catcher is committed to Northwestern. She's an impressive ball player.
3-2 popped up first base, and we have played 3 innings complete, and we have solved nothing. It's tied at 4. 4 hits, 4 runs, 4 hits for both sides. And we go to the top of the fourth inning, see if Ava can settle down and show off her abilities. We'll be back in the top of the fourth after this. Zaleski Sports.
Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty, char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids.
When buying or selling land, the biggest decision you make is choosing your representation. Whitetail Properties is the top real estate company for selling hunting land, recreational properties, and farms. Our nationwide network of sportsmen, farmers, and investors offers a great opportunity for you to capitalize on the true market value of your property. In central Wisconsin, Brian Roosh is your local land specialist and is ready to help you get started on all of your property needs.
Welcome back to Goodman Diamond here on the beautiful campus of the University of Wisconsin in Madison. Driving in yesterday, it was absolutely beautiful. Driving down from central Wisconsin, the lake was glistening, the skyline was beautiful, and it's been a pretty nice weekend so far here in or weather-wise here in Madison. So first offering to Savannah Tep, a ground out to Colo in our first plate appearance, and there's a strike to. There's a. And that was going to be popped up foul territory. And the counter runs, no balls and 2 strikes to Savannah Tep. Oh, yeah, sorry, Paul.
No problems. I was trying to tell the folks at home that was right down the third base line and hit the top of the Royals dugout here as we get to the top of the fourth inning. Steve, we've seen Ava just get to a point where she's had some rough starts and settle in. I fully still expect her to be able to go ahead and do that, as she's gotten 2 strikes on just about every hitter almost right away. Like a lot of the counts have been 0-2.
That one misses just outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tep.
And they've ended up being 3-2. So it's one of those deals where, again, she may have to be a little bit more aggressive. It'd be interesting to hear the conversations between Coach Schill and Ava Schill.
Yep.
You know, father-daughter of what you're seeing, how you're attacking.
The 1-2 going to be hit into left. And a base hit for Savannah Tep, the number 8 hitter.
There just are no easy outs in this. She has 20 hits and is hitting over 400 on the season with 19 RBIs. Now it brings up your. Oh, we've got a pinch runner coming in the game.
Courtesy runner and a new hitter as well. Who's that? Number 4. We got Alyssa Lanning, and then if her hair is able to get out of the way, I think it's number 8 is the new hitter. That is Alexis Liebenow. See, her hair, her ponytail is covering every inch of her number on the back of her jersey. And it is number 8. So a new hitter as Ryan Vielbig's day is done. Likely, maybe, as a new hitter with Alexis Liebenow.
So WIAA rule states every player, whether it's on the bench or as a starter, is allowed 1 re-entry. So she can certainly come back into the game one time if Coach chooses to have her do so.
Squares the bunt, gets it down.
Ooh, did that hit her in the box?
And there's 1 away. Throw to second. Ooh, and a sacrifice bunt. And now back to the top of the order in Caitlin Volbright.
Well, that's a little bit surprising. It looked to me like it actually hit her as she came out of the box, that she kicked it. Maybe not. Anyway, you look at it, that is the 3rd bunt of the ball game, with 2 being successful sacrifice bunts for Oakfield. And now the dangerous Caitlin Volbright, who's got 2 hits in this particular ball game, comes to the plate. 26 hits on the season, 464 average, 27 RBI. She's an impressive hitter.
Couple of base hits and a couple of runs scored today for Caitlin. We play in the 4th. It's her 3rd at-bat of the day. Tennille Tadman waits on deck as Macy Vollert takes her time to tie her shoe.
I'm a bunny ears guy, Steve. I know some people are loop swoop pull it through. Where do you land on that?
I usually I just do it. I don't know. That one misses outside 2-0.
Mike, are you a bunny ears guy or are you a loop swoop guy?
Never untie it.
Never untie it.
Yeah.
I like it. He's a Velcro guy, ladies and gentlemen. That's why he's the best in the business. Certainly appreciate Mike producing it today, so Steve and I can join you here on the broadcast.
2 balls and no strikes. Caitlin Volbright. And right down the middle, first strike, and it's 2-1. Crystal Finishing Systems is a family-owned business now hiring for both their Weston and Mosinee locations with openings in manufacturing, fabrication, management, customer service, and so much more. Join the Crystal Finishing team. Learn more. crystalfinishing.com. The 2-1 is high and away, and that one gets away. That's another wild pitch. And runner at third base with 1 out for the dangerous Caitlin Volbright.
So Ava has, I'm going to use the term nibbling. I'm trying to paint the picture for the folks at home with the zone. She's really tried to, Oakfield's not one that chases a lot of pitch, so she's tried to go high, she's tried to go outside. Whether it's just not quite as pinpoint control or whether she's being careful with this good hitting team, but it's really put this senior catcher, senior pitcher in an interesting spot today.
3-1, right below the hands, and it's 3-2 now.
They've probably played over the course of the summers and the what have you, 300-400 games together. So typically they're on the same page, but they just seem to be a little disconnected today in terms of where that zone is, and maybe it's just the way the ball's coming across.
3-2, lifted to right. Over on it is Galbraith, and that wild pitch is going to pay big dividends, and that one is off of Kristen Casey's hand. And a sacrifice fly, and Oakfield gets one back.
Again, Steve, we talked about just same page and justification. Coach Nelson coming in to take a look at it just to see if there's any chance that maybe she left early.
And they are going to throw it over to Colo. And A.J. Ligman's going to say out, and she left early!
Wow. Coach Nelson was on top of that. A.J. Ligman went ahead and makes an important call in this particular ball game. Again, 3 umpires allows you to really go ahead and focus on that. And AJ goes ahead and punches out, takes the run off of the board.
Well,
and number 3 is going to re-entry. Just as a side thought on that.
We'll just. Yeah, that's the big thing. We'll keep it right here, and we'll talk about that. Rob Schaefer, when they threw the ball over to third base and Malia stepped on third base, he had no argument at all. He stood there, had the out call, came over to the umpire and talked about the re-entry, but he had no argument. He was obviously not satisfied with it, but he had no qualms about it.
Well, Steven, and again, Coach Nelson and Coach Schill are not umpire complainers. They're very pro umpire friendly. They're very they're big softball guys. They understand stuff happens. So for Coach Nelson to come over and ask, he must have definitely saw something. And we talked about it at the top of the broadcast. I want to just reinforce. You've got some of the absolute best umpires in the state. Jason Wolf out on the first base line, for example, is a big time WIAC college umpire. AJ, his normal partner, a lot of confidence. AJ's a really excellent umpire and went ahead and has got the right view, gets the right call, which is all umpires really want. To Oakfield's credit, no argument, understood with where it is, and another huge play in this particular ball game, taking a run off the board, getting Ava out of the inning. So we come to the bottom of the 4th, still tied at 4 apiece. Vullert, Colo, Smits, Kavanaugh due up for the Royals here in a game that has been back and forth with a lot of twists and turns.
The second 1-2-3 inning, an unconventional 1-2-3 for Ava Schill in that 4th inning, but whatever you can do, right?
The other interesting thing is that's a pinch, or it's a courtesy runner that comes into the ball game for Oakfield, and it's just kind of an interesting go-round. Stay on the bench. You got to continue to be involved. It's a specialty role. It's a mistake, unfortunately, for Oakfield that cost them a run.
1-1 to Vollert off the end of the bat and fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As the weather warms up, look to our friends over at Rapid Sheet Metal Heating and Cooling in Wisconsin Rapids. They've got more than 100 years of making your home and business comfortable. Call Rapid Sheet Metal Heating and Cooling today. And call them today. I'm sure it's pretty toasty up in Wisconsin Rapids as well.
Yeah, certainly don't need the heating portion of it, but the cooling, you could use it.
The 1-2, slow grounder over to Tadman at short, and retires Macy Vollert, and there's 1 away.
Tadman's really an impressive shortstop. Not only has she done a great job positioning her players in this game, but she had that opening play by Kristen Casey where she showed off the arm on the short hop. This time she was deep in the hole for Macy and makes an impressive throw over to first base as well. So, again, two really high-quality teams battling out in what's been a heck of a game. Malia with a huge 2-out triple in her first at-bat. See if she can go ahead and keep that hot stick swinging.
Colo at the dish. Mrs. High, a senior that will be coming down here next fall to become a Wisconsin Badger. Pre-med or something for Malia. Something well beyond my knowledge. The 1-0 for Malia. Mrs. High and away, 2-0. Speaking of Wisconsin Rapids, Grand Rapids area up there, rummage sale weekend in Grand Rapids. So if you're watching and from Wisconsin Rapids and you want to go and get some good deals, high chopper to third, backing up is Volbright across and in time. Nice play over there at third base by Caitlin Volbright.
I have to admit, I'm not much of a rummage sale guy in terms of in terms of where it goes, but I know that there are some pretty good deals out there, and again, you can stop over at our friends Chips, maybe get a good hamburger along the way. As you're driving through over in the Rapids area, maybe stop at Fleet Farm and get some of those cashews, some of those nuts. So 2 away, up comes Lydia Schmidt.
Lydia Schmidt, a fly out to center her first time up. Ari Kavanaugh waiting on deck for the Royals.
Lydia with a huge play in this game, a diving grab from her center field spot, which kept some runs off the boards for the Royals and was an important when she made it.
High and away, 2-0 to Lydia Schmidt. Running can be hard on your body, whether you're training for marathons, competitive runs, or just for daily exercise. Turn to Roberts Physical Therapy to get moving, keep moving. Enjoy life on the run. Roberts Physical Therapy with locations in Amherst, Plainfield, and Wisconsin Rapids. And Smits is ahead in the count, 3-0.
So an important at-bat here for Lydia for two reasons. One, it's going to bring Kavanaugh to the plate because it's going to give you a shot to get to the top of the order next inning, or it's going to bring Kavanaugh to the plate, who, as we've seen, has got 2 triples on the year and is has made good contact from that regard. So an important battle here for Lydia. She's now ahead in the count, 3 balls, 1 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning in a 4-4 ball game.
Lamanska fires home. There's a swing and a miss. Has fought all the way back. Count runs full to the Assumption Junior center fielder Lydia Smits.
Good aggressive cut from Lydia there, just a little bit behind that fastball. So another full count in this game. It feels like every batter has been a full count.
3-2 and able to fight it off. Nice job by Lydia in on the hands, knuckling it foul into the screen. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Interesting fact about Lydia, she wears number 8, she bats 8th, and she plays the 8th position center field.
Nice.
It's just fun to float it out there, folks.
3-2 to Lydia. Going to be fouled straight back again. Count remains full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. See if we can find a you had a pitch count for Miss Schill. See if we got a pitch count for only 64. Yeah, that's not many. 3-2 and inside and draws the walk. 2-out walk. Now Ari Kavanaugh at the dish.
Just kind of staring throughout the crowd, which has really filled in to be a great crowd for this game. We see Ava Bussey, the Mosinee, good-looking freshman pitcher. So shout out to Mosinee and Ava on a really good season. We expect that maybe in the next couple of years we'll see them down here at the state tournament. We see multiple members: Eddie Vollert, Kendall Dillman, Sarah Shaw.
First offering to Ari Kavanaugh misses high, and it's 1-0.
Of that Royals softball team, just to our left, we see the world-famous Brian Roosh from Whitetail Properties over there, so always nice to see him in the crowd.
And misses high again above the letters, and it's 2-0 to the number 9 hitter, Ari Kavanaugh. She was hit by a pitch and scored on the double by Schooley back in the 3rd inning. Smith stands at first with 2 outs. Kristen Casey waiting on deck for the Royals. Allie Lamanska wheels and deals. And it's a pretty similar spot, but hits the zone there, and it's 2-1. Kavanaugh, an outstanding freshman, plays a lot of softball, as a lot of these girls do. The 2-1 misses high, 3-1.
Kavanaugh hit by pitch in the first at bat. Has now worked to a 3-1 count here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Schmidt on first base. If Kavanaugh can reach, then you bring up the hot-hitting Kristen Casey, who is a tough out.
3-1. And gets a strike. Smits will have a head start here. Full count, 2 outs. 4th inning. And Charlie says, just run, Lydia, just run.
Like a candle in the wind.
And here's the payoff offering from Lamanska. That's going to be hit foul. And Smits was running. She stands at second base and has to go back.
See, if I was Lydia, I'd be complaining to the freshman, like, hey, I've only got 1 or 2 of these sprints in me. We talked about the fact that running can be hard on the body. It's one of those at my age, like, I've got 1 or 2 of those, and after that, I'm like, yeah, coach, see how that works.
3-2 back to Kavanaugh, and got her looking on the backwards K to end the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left via the walk. We've played 4 complete. Still tied at 4. We'll be back to Goodman, Diamond, and Madison after this. Selesky Sports.
You know better when you see it.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
But sometimes it's a little harder to tell what better looks like, and you could use a little help.
Thanks, Mom.
Security Health Plan. Everything you need in a health plan. Everything you'd expect from a good neighbor.
Hi, this is Blake from Mobile Link. The window tint businesses, homes, and cottages. Remote starters. We've been doing remote starters for over 30 years. We have over 5,000 units installed to date. We offer a lifetime warranty on the product. This unit works from over a mile distance, and the remote tells you the car started. We know the car started because of the green light. It tells me it's running the entire time because every 3 seconds you get a light flash. Call Blake at Mobile Link to schedule your appointment today. 715-424-5432.
Welcome back to Goodman Diamond here in Madison. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 for the Oakfield Lady Oaks. We got Oakfield and Oak Creek here this weekend. Division I, Oak Creek took down Arrowhead last night. And that was going to be lined to left center. That's trouble. And she's going to round first, head to second, and lead off double for Tennille Tadman.
Steve, I continue to go ahead and ask the question of, and I'm not questioning it, so I don't want to take a look at it, but I think it's my job to kind of paint it for it at home. The Assumption outfielders have played very shallow in this game. And when those hard hit balls have come, we've seen a ball get over the right fielder's head. We've seen that ball get laced in between the left and the center fielder for a leadoff double. It just makes you wonder why they choose to be at that depth.
Olivia Robinson at the plate. She flew out to Lydia Smits her last time. There's Galbraith with the catch. Tadman doesn't go anywhere, and a fly out. Robinson was retired the last time on the diving catch by Lydia Smits. Goes after the first pitch again. And she flies out to Galbraith, and now Allie Lamanska.
As we get to the 5th inning, Steve, it'll be interesting to see if Oakfield's approach continues to be patience or if they start to press a little bit as this game starts to ramp up. 93 pitches, by the way, for Ava now through 4 1/3.
Popped up.
That's got room. Come on, Chris.
Yeah, it's Chris and Casey. That's when you got to rip your mask off and go find the wall, go find the net and go make that play.
We talked about all the different room and foul territory, but that ball bounces in the on-deck circle.
Yeah.
Again, tough to find the when when take a look at it, especially running with it from there. You'd like to maybe see Anna Schooley come over and get that particular one. But that's one where, with Lemansky being at the bag, being able to retire that out in that fashion would have been a huge play in this game.
Lamanska, a single and a walk today for Allie, the pitcher for the Oaks today.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Top of the 5th inning here in a 4-4 game.
That's going to be popped up this time.
Get there.
And Schill's going to make the catch for the second out.
One of those tweener. Ava came over. Anna came rushing in. All of a sudden, that was kind of right on. Is it going to be fair? Is it going to be foul? Nice play by Ava to be able to field it. Good communication by the Royals. Made me a little bit nervous up here, though, just to be honest with you. I'm like,
Stella Hoffman, a strikeout and a 3 RBI double today for Stella.
Sadie has moved back significantly in right. But again, compare Sadie in right deep, Ari in left significantly playing in. She's a long way off of the fence. Like I don't know any other way to describe that. Is it just same deal with Lydia at center.
Yep.
She's not deep. Like I'm sure it's by design. Certainly Coach Nelson, Coach Hill are two of the absolute best around the area. So I am in no way, shape, or form questioning it. But they're very shallow outfield right now.
Absolutely. The 0-1. Just missed. That looked like the same pitch that struck out Ari Kavanaugh on the bottom of the fourth. Just missing outside.
Yep, I think our umpire zonal has been very consistent, inside, outside, high, low. So again, Ava once again nibbling at those corners. Just missed a little bit outside.
The 1-1 from Schill. Going to be knuckled over to Nelson at short, and that will do it for the Oaks. Here in the fifth, a fist bump from Kristen Casey. We've played 4.5. It's still tied at 4. Back after this, Selesky Sports.
Welcome. How may we help you?
New windows, new garage, new car, swimming pool. Tuition, we're not talking scholarship here. And a vacation.
Our affordable home equity line of credit may be just what you need.
Medical expenses, braces for our youngest. How about the dog? Roof. How about the roof? And did I mention how long I wanted that vacation to be?
Your money, your life. How may we help you?
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on U.S. Highway 10, NasonvilleDairy.com.
Goodman Diamond here in beautiful Madison, Wisconsin, as we are joined here in the bottom of the fifth inning in a 4-4 game. Assumption was able to survive a leadoff double in the top of the fifth inning without surrendering a run, and have an opportunity now with the top of the order with Kristen Casey, Anna Schooley, and then Ava Schill coming up to go ahead and get themselves a lead.
A single into left the last time. You mentioned how shallow Stella Hoffman is in left, and their first one misses high. You mentioned 10 feet. Yeah, just about 8 feet off of the 10 feet off the dirt in the left.
Look at center field. And look at center field. So interestingly, just to see the gap, and look at right field. Honestly, if Chris can go ahead and pull it, like between the second and the first baseman with her speed, it's a run.
Yep.
Like each of the three outfielders are about 10 feet off of the infield, and they're all shifted like she's going to hit it to opposite field.
1-1. Going to be hit, and a snow cone catch by Tennille Tadman at short, and there's one away.
Tennille Tadman went ahead and climbed the ladder, made a great play. You know, that's the third real impressive play she has made. So she started off the inning with the leadoff double, keeps Kristen off the base with her speed. That's a huge piece. I continue to go ahead and take a look at it. If Oakfield's going to play Kristen that way, she may have to go ahead and swing away, just simply based on the fact she's a very strong, good hitter. I think she can get a run by going ahead and burning an Oakfield defense.
A strikeout and a RBI double for Anna Schooley, her two at-bats today. As we close in on 9:30 here in southern Wisconsin, UW-Madison, home of the Wisconsin Badgers, of course. All right, Goodman Diamond popped up, foul territory, long run, and it's going to... And just unable to make the catch over there was Volbright. It may have hit out of play.
Yep, I think it hit the top of the fence and carried him in about a foot and a half out of play or so for Oakfield. So Anna chased a high fastball there. Again, 36 hits and 67 at bats, a 5.37 average, a 37 RBI for Anna Schooley.
The 1-1. That one gets behind, somehow doesn't hit her, and it's 2-1. 7 homers in her freshman campaign, just 1 this year for Anna. Three home runs for the Royals as a team this year.
Coach Nelson reminding Anna that they've got ice, especially when it bounces. But 2 balls, 1 strike. Anna wants to swing away.
Yeah, absolutely right. The 2-1 to Anna Schooley is going to be hit hard past third, and it runs 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stone Innovations can give you a brand new kitchen within just 1 week. Countertops, backsplashes, flooring, cabinets, and everything else you find in your kitchen. Stone Innovations takes care of it all for you, from fabrication, design, and installation. For your next kitchen or bathroom, look to Stone Innovations in Plover. The 2-2 to Anna Schooley.
You know, Steve, so we talked
This
about
is high, and
another
it's 3-2.
3-2 count in this particular ball game. So we talked about how many pitches that Ava had thrown through 3 innings, and now she's at 94 pitches through 5. Lamanska has just reached her 80th pitch. So it's one of those deals where we talked about Ava settling, and so has the Assumption approach. As that ball is hit deep to left field.
Stella Hoffman ranging over and making the over-the-head catch for out number 2.
Anna put a good swing on it, but just got a little bit underneath it. 2-way here as after a very productive first, second, and third inning with runs. Now the fourth was 0-0, and Oakfield is 1 out away from putting up back-to-back goose eggs for the Royals, keeping this game 4-4. Although Ava, with one swing, I certainly can go ahead and give the Assumption the lead.
First offering to Ava misses high and in, and it's 1-0.
Ava with 2 of those 3 Royal home runs this season. Good-looking left-handed hitter, lots of power. She's hit the ball to opposite field twice today.
The 1-0 to Ava. That one rolls in there, and it's 2-0. Oakfield will have, let me write down numbers here quick. We'll have 6, 7, and 8 in the 6th inning against Ava Schill. Tied at 4, 2-0 count to Ava Schill with 2 outs. Inside, 3-0 to Ava.
We are setting up to have a photo finish and a lot of nervous energy in this particular ball game, Steve.
3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Wheels home. Right down the middle. First strike, 3-1.
We'll see if Ava can reach base. If we'll get Maddie Abbott
Red Rocket
to the ball game as a courtesy runner. I know that's typically Charlie will courtesy run for Ava. We'll see who he chooses using today.
And she draws the walk. Another walk for Lamanska, her 3rd of the game. And Maddie will take over at first base. The junior. A very stout, very good volleyball player is Maddie Abbott. She'll high-five Ava Schill, and she'll take her spot at first base.
Long, athletic runner. When you take a look at it, the hot-hitting Claire Nelson. Last time, Claire roped a triple down the right field line. Certainly, if she can go ahead and replicate that hit, the Royals will go ahead and have a run. Abbott's certainly quick enough to be able to go ahead and round the bases. 2 outs, she should be able to get a good jump, run on anything hit.
We'll talk about Maddie Abbott here in just a second. That was going to be hit into right. And down on it that time was Vielbig, and Maddie Abbott's going to 3rd, and she's going to be out. What in the world? And that'll end the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on. We have played 5 completes, tied at 4. Back after this, Oleski Sports.
Customize your next apparel order with Maida Custom Apparel of Stevens Point. Visit us today for custom baseball and softball apparel. Need help with a design? We have you covered. Our highly skilled staff will turn your idea into a reality with great quality screen printing. Or choose from a variety of embroidery options today. Visit us at our physical store or online at maidacustom.com.
Wisconsin River Orthopedics has been providing comprehensive care to Wood County for over 50 years. We offer urgent care for orthopedic pain and injuries, joint replacement, along with focused sports medicine care from evaluation to rehabilitation. Our facilities offer a spacious rehab center to get you back to doing what you love most, along with the latest technology in our ambulatory surgery center and a comfortable open MRI. Stop living with pain and limited range in your joints. Turn to Wisconsin River Orthopedics and get back to the way life is meant to be.
Welcome back to Goodman Ballpark here in beautiful Madison, Wisconsin, as we are starting the top of the 6th inning in this Division V state semifinal. 4-4 is the score of the contest between Assumption and Oakfield. Winner of this game will play Pacelli tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock for the Division V state championship. These last 2 and perhaps more innings, Steve, are set up to be high drama.
Yeah, absolutely right. And when you make tough outs on the base pass, that makes that even that even makes it even a little more stressful. And
well, Steve, this game's had a little bit of everything. We've had multiple diving catches. You've had a lot of balls put in play. Oakfield had a run taken off of the board by a base running
blunder.
Blunder is a good word. I was going to say mistake, but blunder is a better picture to paint. And Assumption takes themselves out of a possible scoring situation by being aggressive on the base paths, and give Oakfield some credit for making a nice defensive play. Like, you still got to go ahead and make the play in terms of where it goes, but they had Maddie Abbott out by steps at third base.
That's going to be hit foul past first, and it's 1-2 to Marissa Kotke. This is a big get here. We got 6, 7, and 8 for Oakfield here in the top of the 6th inning. And
Kotke, Sable, and Tapp for Oakfield coming to the plate. And again, Steve, there is just no easy section of this Oakfield lineup. Like, every inning, every hitter is a battle.
The 1-2 going to be hit over to second. Vollert stays down, bobbles it for a second, and there's one away. That is a very similar play that we saw in the sectional final in New Lisbon the other night for Macy Vollert.
You know, so that ball is hit towards second, but it's hit between the pitcher and the second baseman where she's playing. Macy has to go up the middle, does a great job of staying down on that. That's kind of an in-between hop, and then comes up and throws a strike to first base to get her out to start off the inning with a big out.
Krista Sabel at the plate. She grounded out to first and popped out to first in her 2 at-bats today against Ava Schill.
Nice play by Macy to go ahead and get an important first out in this particular ball game, as Schill is about to throw her 100th pitch of the ball game.
The 1-0 going to be popped up, foul territory. Look out in the stands, and a nice catch.
Oh, confident catch! I'll tell you, even the Oakfield fans know how to go ahead and feel this thing. It's impressive.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Getting a high five from his fellow peers. He's like, I got it the whole way. Who needs a glove? Kristen tried to barehand one earlier as well. So, I mean, Kristen's like, you got nothing on me.
The 1-1 now. Going to be hit hard into left. 0 for 2 and lines 1 to left for a base hit. Her first hit of the day. And now Savannah Tapp at the plate. A ground out and a single today for Savannah. We got
20 hits on the season for Savannah on 49 attempts. Another 400 hitter with 19 RBIs. So, again, just consistently throughout that lineup, just battling.
We got Broadhead and Somerset take the field after we are concluded here today. We'll talk about Somerset's record here in just a second. They'll have to go up against one of the top teams in the state in Broadhead, but Somerset coming in 11-12 on the year as sectional champions, and kudos to them. Congratulations to them. But 11-12, the only under 500 team this year.
Well, Steve, I would remind you, as Kristen Casey snaps a throw to first, and a goalie can't handle it, and runner gets back safe. Well, I'll remind you, as our friends up in Edgar will tell you in terms of where it goes, it's about getting hot at the right time of the year, and it's about getting better over the course of the season, and that's what it sounds like with Somerset, just like the Wildcats will be making their first WIAA baseball state appearance next week. We'll take a look at it in terms of where it goes. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
The 1-1 low, and it's 2-1 now to Savannah Tapp. She singled and then was courtesy run for, and then that was the play, the leave early play that ended the 4th inning.
We could use her to tap one to Claire Nelson for a 6-4-3, and let's get out of here.
The 2-1. He popped up, long run, Smits diving, and can't make that one. And a base hit for Savannah Tapp as Lydia Smits tried it again, just unable to make that catch. And there's 2 on, 1 out for Ryan Vielbig.
And once again, number 4 for Oakfield enters the ball game to courtesy run. And our number 4 for Oakfield is Alyssa Lanning entering the game to courtesy run for the catcher. So runners on first and second, 1 out. 9-1 coming up here across the board. Finding a way to take a look at where this goes is from there. I think you're 100% right, Steve. I think we're going to go ahead and see a bunt here and bring Volbright up with the idea of giving her a chance to score 2 with a single.
First offering, that was going to be hit weakly past third, and Colo makes the play or stops it there, and it's 0-1.
So not a traditional bunt, but a slap specifically designed to be down the third base line. That's certainly not a full swing. So I hate to call that a swinging bunt, but that's I want to make contact, put it in play. I'm not trying to go ahead and rip a shot swing.
The 0-1 now to Vielbeek. And misses low and away. Nobody covering second, so Sabel's able to take a huge lead over at second base.
That time, Vielbeek did go ahead and square around the bunt. That is the fourth bunt attempt in this particular ball game. 3 to sacrifice, and 1 that was a bunt for a base, or trying to bunt for a base hit.
The 1-1 now. Going to be hit foul into the Assumption dugout, and it's 1-2. Top of the order, 2 up next for Oakfield.
Steve, I'm not sure that I totally understand, and again, I'm not a softball coach. I'm not even. I didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn last night, so I'm not even that smart. But with the leadoff hitter coming up, why not try to bunt to bring runners in second and third and give her a chance to go ahead and give yourself a 2-run lead? I'm not sure that I understand that one.
1 ball and 2 strikes to the sophomore. And going to be hit to Colo, and almost made a diving catch over there at third base. It was a foul ball, and it remains 1-2.
If there's 2 things that you'll always remember about Malia Colo, one is she's got a terrific smile. She just has a terrific smile. But the second thing is that I've not seen a young lady be more beat up over the course of her time, whether it be volleyball, basketball, or now on the diving attempt. She spends a lot of time on the floor throwing her body after plays.
1 ball and 2 strikes, 1 away to the number 9 hitter, Ryan Vielbeek. Misses outside. 2-2. Remember, in the third inning, Schill ran the count full to the number 9 hitter and then got her looking on a backwards K. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Schill looks to the dugout along with Kristen Casey to get the sign from Rob Schill. The 2-2. Going to be hit over to third again and foul. Trying to punch it over to third base.
Again, that's Ava's 115th pitch in this ball game, and again, that's a swinging bunt, for lack of a better term. She just wants to put the ball on the infield and advance those runners at this point. Now, certainly with her speed, it's going to be a tough play at first, so it might work out to be a hit, but she is definitely not taking a full cut.
2-2, misses outside, count runs full.
Steve, against the 9 hitter, Ava has been 3-2 on her several times and has really tried to work her outside. I'm surprised that she's not tried to come in and challenge her on the inside or even down the middle of the plate. She's really danced around her. She had a strike 3 call on a outside corner pitch earlier.
3-2 over to Colo and to first high throw, and that's one that if Malia had it back, I think she may turn around and throw it over to Claire Nelson at third base, who is covering.
But an excellent job by Ryan Vielbeek there to advance that runner. That's essentially, it's a swinging bunt. That's a sacrifice, and now it brings up the leadoff hitter, Caitlin Volbright, in a really dangerous spot. Steve, it makes you wonder if Ava will potentially, unintentionally, intentionally walk her in terms of where it goes. She has been dangerous with the bat today.
Couple of hits and a flyout to right. Misses outside for a ball. And you got Tennille Tadman on deck, who had a double to lead off the 5th inning in her last at-bat. And she was left stranded there.
26 hits in 56 attempts this year, 464 average, 27 RBIs, but a lot of confidence right now for Volbright.
The 1-0. Going to be lifted, shallow center, right center, and off the glove of Smits, 2 will score. Volbright to second, and Oakfield's got the lead.
You know, Steve, that's a ball that Lydia didn't get a great jump on. It hits her in the glove. It's a running play. It's a play that could be made. I don't want to say should be made, but again, Volbright comes up with a big at bat. I'm not even sure. We'll see on how they're going to score that. I don't know if they're going to score that a hit or an error. It probably feels like an error to me if you get a glove on it in terms of where it goes, but 6-4 Oakfield here now in the top of the 6th inning. And now you're coming up to the heart of the order. Important for Schill to go ahead and settle in and make sure that this does not get further away from them.
Tennille Tadman at the plate, a doubler last time up, and now it's going to be hit into left field. They're going to send the runner Volbright. The throw from Kavanaugh, high, and she's going to be safe at home. And an RBI base hit for Tennille Tadman.
Kavanaugh came up and threw, but had left it drifted up the line a little bit and threw it high. And just like that, despite the fact that we started with 6, 7, and 8 in the lineup, Oakfield goes ahead and explodes for 3 runs here in the top of the 6th on just really nice hitting. Like you have to give Oakfield a lot of credit. They've put a lot of balls in play and made Assumption make some plays. And now again with Robinson up here at the plate, it's important for Schill to make sure that she gets this out and that the Royals settle. They can certainly hit to get back into it, but you can't dig the hole any deeper.
Over to Nelson and across and in time to retire Robinson here in the 6th. But Oakfield scores 3 times with 2 outs. We've played 5.5. It's 7-4 Oaks. Back after this, Zaleski Sports.
For years, our Store Innovations customers told us they love our countertops, but only wanted to deal with one company for their entire kitchen project. Well, we've heard you. So now Store Innovations can give you a brand new kitchen with the same high quality products, selection, expertise we've been giving you for years. And now we can give you that brand new kitchen in just 1 week. After sitting down with our designers, picking out cabinets, countertops, and flooring, it will only take us 1 week to install everything. Stone Innovations, new kitchens in just 1 week.
Chili Implement, located just west of Marshfield in Chili, is your Kubota dealer in central Wisconsin. Big or small, Chili Implement has all the best equipment waiting for you. From farm tractors to lawn care, plus work and have fun in a Kubota side-by-side. Choose Chili Implement for your parts and service too. Chili Implement, open Monday through Saturday to serve you and 24/7 online at chiliimplement.com.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Get a free quote from our friend Kerry Van Hertz, State Farm, on auto, homeowners, renters, and more. For both Wisconsin Rapids and Marshfield, find Kerry Van Hertz, State Farm on Facebook. Get started today. Sadie Galbraith to lead things off. A walk and a pop-out today for Sadie in her 2 at-bats. As Ali Lamanska looks to the dugout, gets the pitch she wants, and fires home to Sadie Galbraith, misses low and in.
Oakfield in the top of the 6th inning scored their 3 runs, Steve. Both Volbright's hit and Tadman's hit were both ruled as hits, just for those of you keeping it home. So 10 hits today for the Oaks off of Ava Schill. 7 runs, 10 hits.
And there's a strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. For the best in recreational or hunting properties in Wisconsin, call our buddy Brian Roosh with Whitetail Properties to share your goals, and Brian can tell you where and how to make it a reality. Call him at 715-213-4468, 715-213-4468. And Galbraith behind 1-2 as she fouls it back.
You know, Steve, I would say watching Oakfield play today, I have a tremendous amount of respect for the sectional that they came through. So they played some 7-5, some really tough ball games. I think you said Belmont and Barneveld, and played them both tough in terms of where it goes. That was really a tough sectional.
Ground out over to first, and a 3 unassisted for Georgia Hoffman, and there's 1 away.
And that brings up Macy Vollert, and on deck is Malia Colo. Here as we battle in the bottom of the 6th inning. So far today, every time the Oaks have been able to go ahead and put up a crooked number, Assumption has been able to respond. We'll see if they can once again do it here in the top of the 6th, or in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Maska fires high and away, and it's 1-0. Malia Colo waits on deck for the Royals. Fly out to right and a ground out to short for Macy today. That's going to be hit right back into right center field, and a 1-out single for Macy Vollert.
Macy Vollert does a great job there of keeping her hands inside, driving that ball up the middle for Assumption's 6th hit of the ball game. So 4 runs on 6 hits for Assumption, 7 runs on 10 hits for Oakfield. This game has had just a tremendous amount of actions into it. Plays made, not plays made, running errors, runners thrown out. Been an exciting ball game. I mean, it's what state should be.
RBI triple in the 2nd, a ground out to 3rd. First one misses inside to Malia, and it's 1-0. Lydia Smits awaits on deck. With so much of our lives riding it, I will hear from Solaris here in just a moment. That's one tough thing about softball is they go so fast. That's one nice thing about softball, too. The 1-0 popped up, shallow right.
That's going to get down. That's going to get down. You got to go.
Macy Vollert, and she's going to be out at second base. Man, oh, man. Colo's going to reach on a single, and bad base running again from the Royals, and there's 2 away on the 9-6 putout.
Yeah, that was the ball, for those at home listening. Okay, so that ball was hit right down the right field line. It was a bloop single.
Yep.
The right fielder is playing behind the second baseman. She had a long way to go, and Macy Vullert just didn't get a good read on it. Now, maybe it's Coach Schill telling her to tag up or stay tight.
Ground out to third, and we will head to the 7th. Oakfield leads 7-4. We'll be back after this. Zaleski Sports.
The Sports Den, located on Marshfield's sunny south side since 1975. The Sports Den has the area's best selection of outdoor equipment. Find top brands of snowshoes, cross-country and downhill skis, snowboards, swimming equipment, skateboards, and more. The Sports Den has a full-service bike repair center along with top bike brands, Specialized, Trek, and others. The Sports Den is Central Wisconsin's fat bike headquarters. Visit the Sports Den in Marshfield Monday through Saturday and thesportsden.net.
Welcome back to Goodman Diamond here in Madison. Here from our friends at Solaris. So much of our lives riding on the internet these days. Choosing a provider you can rely on has become more important than ever. As a local company, Solaris sees their customers as neighbors and not just numbers. You can trust their fiber delivers the fastest, most reliable, and most advanced internet experience in town. Visit Solaris.net. For Oakfield, it'll be 4, 5, and 6 against Ava Schill here in the top of the 7th inning. And it will be Allie Lamanska to lead things off. A single, a walk, and a pop-out today for Allie. As the Royals need a big 0 on the board here in the 7th if they want a shot at it in the bottom of the 7th with 9, 1, and 2 due up for the Royals.
Well, last night Pacelli came back and put up a 5 spot in the bottom of the inning. So as they always say, it's why they play 7.
Yep.
That being stated, one of those deals where as Ava goes ahead and takes the mound, she's going to be north of, let's see what exactly that is. That's her 123rd pitch of the ball game.
Yep.
So again, I think it's important for her to go ahead and just work through this inning as efficiently as possible.
The 1-0 misses inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Made a Custom Apparel in Stevens Point provides quality decorated apparel from hometown schools and summer teams to corporate and team outings, along with promotional items and sporting goods. That's Made a Custom Apparel in Stevens Point. 1 ball and 1 strike to the junior pitcher, Allie Lamanska. High chopper and over the glove of Malia Colo, and a leadoff base hit for Lamanska.
Again, that ball's driven into the ground. It's hit pretty hard. Colo, who plays normally right in line with the base, just has that ball chop over her, and considering her size and length, that's pretty impressive. Number 7 for Oakfield, Lainey Shep, enters the ball game as a courtesy runner for the pitcher. Again, for those of you wondering at home, courtesy runners are allowed in high school softball for both your pitcher and your catcher. You can flex you can bring in your flex to run from time to time if you wanted to take a look at running it that way as well. So a couple of inside-out rules, but a new runner in the ball game.
Stella Hoffman at the plate, a strikeout, a 3 RBI double, and a ground out today, and that was going to be lifted foul and gonna drift foul, and now
Malia ran into the coach. Coach is in the box. You're gonna go over and talk about whether or not it's the case. My guess is that's gonna be interference, and you're gonna have an out.
And umpires get together, and that would take a big bat away from the plate for Oakfield.
My guess is because he did not stand there, he turned. Again, it's a tough play. Coach, it's nothing.
Yeah.
The Oakfield coach is not doing anything intentional there, by the way. I just want to be very clear, which is why the umpires are talking about it. But they're going to say that he took a step.
And she's out.
Yep. And it's the right call. It's one of those deals where he took a step and turned, and by taking a step and turning versus standing, he made the runner or the defensive player have to move. It's the right call to be an out. It's an unfortunate play. And again, it's an unfortunate play in terms of the ball game. And coach is just coming in to say, hey, well, what exactly do you want me to do? And the answer that he's going to get is that, coach, your obligation is to stand and to turn. You cannot move in any way, shape, or form. And I want to be perfectly clear for those listening at home. The Oakfield coach was trying to avoid it. He did what any of us would naturally do. He is not trying to intentionally take a look at it, but interference or obstruction does not necessarily have to be intentional, and it does not have to always involve contact. But in that case, coach versus player contact, Great call by the umpiring crew, who's had some really tough, great calls in this game today, by the way.
Marissa Kotke at the plate. A couple of ground outs and a walk today for Marissa. Squares the bunt, pulls it back, throw to first. Back in time is Shep, and there's 1 ball and no strikes. Wisconsin River Orthopedics encourages you to stop living with the pain. Come see them, and let's get you back to living your life to the fullest. For joint pain, rehabilitation, and urgent care and more, come to Wisconsin River Orthopedics in Wisconsin Rapids.
Steve, we talked about the fact that Oakfield averages about 6 or 7 bunts a game. This is their 5th bunt attempt, 4 of them for sacrifice, 1 for a hit. Very consistent in their nature and consistent with just being a solid hitting team. Tough to make outs. Only 1 strikeout today for Ava Schill, if I have that correct.
2, I think.
2 total.
Yep.
Okay, so I missed 1 in terms of where it goes. But still, that is Ava's lowest number of the season by far.
The 1-1. Squares the bunt, gets it down. Nicely done. Schooley to first to Vollert, and there's 2 away now for Krista Sable. Sacrifice bunt on the 3-4. 2 away now for the number 7 hitter. A ground out, pop out, and a single today for
number 11,
Krista Sable. Broadhead and Somerset, and then New London and who plays after them?
Is it Division 2? It's New London.
Mishicot, 3.
Division 4.
Yeah, Mishicot
3.
and Mayville. And then this afternoon is New Berlin, Eisenhower, New London, Freedom, Turner. And then a couple of Division 1 games tonight as well. Trying to get a lot of games in today. The 0-1 going to be popped up. Look out back here. Hits the top of the netting. And it's 0-2.
Luckily, Mike was here to protect us. He was ready to jump on it with a cat-like speed and reflexes. You could see it. He was dialed in. So no balls, 2 strikes. Ava has gotten to this count a lot today. 0-2 has been the case, Steve, but we've just not been able to see her punch strike 3 in the way that she normally consistently has been all season long. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on second base. Royals trailing 7-4.
Yeah, this Oakfield team is as good as advertised when it comes to plate discipline and just being a good all-around team. They made some nice defensive plays. It's been one heck of a game so far.
It is interesting to go ahead and see, Steve, the energy in the stadium as you get the songs in between. The Oakfield fans are feeling pretty good. The Assumption fans are feeling pretty nervous at this point.
0-2, ground out or grounded over to Nelson, and that will end it. Royals need 3. Oakfield looking for the 3 outs to advance to a Division 5 state championship. We'll be back after this quick break. Zaleski Sports.
Little Sprouts is now open in Rudolph with the same great child care you know about in Auburndale. Here's Brooke Sievers to tell us about it.
The community here in Rudolph has been extremely welcoming, and we're excited to serve here just like we do up in Auburndale. Part of the process is to help out the school districts and to help the children their 4K children to stay close and get services right here. We serve here in Rudolph 1-year-olds up until 12-year-olds, and up in Auburndale we serve 6 weeks old until 12-year-olds.
Our Auburndale pea pods, wiggle worms, busy bees, and fireflies welcome the Rudolph sweet potatoes, lovely ladybugs, and beautiful butterflies. Contact Little Sprouts Learning Garden on Facebook today.
Welcome back to Goodman Diamond. The Royals need 3 to keep their championship hopes alive, and they will have the heart of the order. Ari Kavanaugh to lead things off, and then Casey Schooley and Schill if needed. Kavanaugh today, a hit by pitch and a strikeout for Ari.
Big spot in the game for the freshman to be able to come up. Again, at this time of the year, I'm not even sure she's a freshman anymore, but big spot to be able to come up. Important to get that leadoff hitter on here, Steve.
And the first offering from Lamanska is good for a strike, and it's 0-1.
This one's full. Do you have another card?
No balls and a strike. The 0-1 coming home. Going to be hit foul through her legs, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, that's just a little guy. Okay.
No balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the home half of the 7th.
Lamanska going right after Kavanaugh.
Inside miss, just missed, and the oohs and ahs from the Oakfield faithful. And it's 1-2.
With a 3-run lead, the last thing in the world that you want to do is is walk. You want to make her earn her way on base here, Steve. So Lamanska definitely going ahead and going after her.
1-2. Kavanaugh fouls it straight back. Kristen Casey awaits on deck, then Anna Schooley in the hole. The winner of this one will take on Pacelli tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., Division 5 state championship. We will also broadcast Iola Scandinavia and Waterloo at 10:30 here on Zaleski Sports. The 1-2 inside, 2-2.
Certainly appreciate everybody at home that has been following us and watching us and listening to us on Zaleski Sports all year long, including here down here at the state tournament. We appreciate our sponsors that's been able to get us down here as well.
The 2-2 to Kavanaugh. Going to be lined to right
down.
And caught by Vielbig, and there's one away. Now back to the top of the order, Kristen Casey. Ground out, single, and a line out today. The snow cone catch by Tennille Tadman back in the 5th inning. And the Oakfield defense moves where they are. Left field, 10 feet. And there's a lot of room out there in the green for the speedy Kristen Casey. Nobody on, one away, top of the order. Royals trail by 3.
Kristen calls time, steps out, gets herself reset.
And the first offering misses high for a ball. It's 1-0.
Again, the Royals need base runners. It doesn't matter, Steve, if it's hit by pitch, if it's a walk, if it's a single. You're down 3. You need to get a couple runners on base, especially with the power of the lineup coming through.
The 1-0. Misses outside, 2-0. Oh, there's a strike.
Assumption would love to go ahead and get to a spot where Claire Nelson can come up as hot as her stick has been this year, or as of late down this playoff run. Just need runners at this point.
1 ball, 1 strike to the senior catcher, Kristen Casey. It could be hit and into left field. And a 1-out base hit for Kristen Casey. Under the glove of Volbright at third, and now Anna Schooley. Strikeout, RBI double, and a flyout today for Anna.
Nice piece of hitting by Kristen Casey. Went ahead and they pitched her outside. She went outside, put that ball just past the diving third baseman, and that's exactly what the Royals need. Now they need to find a way for Schooley to get on base and give Schill and Nelson a chance to go ahead and tie this ball game up for you.
Kristen didn't get an opportunity to run in the third. Anna Schooley doubled on the first pitch she saw, and just misses inside, and it's 1-0.
I'd be a little surprised if Coach Nelson put her in motion here, Steve. I understand you take away the force, that's the reason for it. But, considering you need 3, not 2 or 1, I don't think you want to make an out on the base pass.
Offering to Schooley.
Goodbye.
Hit to deep left field, and just foul. Hits the top of the matted fence in left field, but just foul, and it's 1-1 to Schooley. A loud, long strike for the Assumption sophomore.
When Anna Schooley went ahead and turned on that one, folks, I thought for sure we were a 1-run ball game with Ava Schill coming up. She absolutely tattooed that high fastball offering. Unfortunately, just foul for the Royals and just hit the top of the fence. So, again, this ballpark's a little bit bigger than the traditional ballpark that you play in. It was a factor there.
1-1 to Schooley. High and tight, 2-1. Ava Schill waits on deck.
Again, down 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th, runner on first base. Need another runner, and this game's going to get real interesting in those final couple of bats, Steve.
Lamanska kicks and fires. Going to be popped up, left center. Over on it is Robinson, and there's 2 away. Assumption down to their final out here in 2023. And now Ava Schill at the plate. A pop out, a sacrifice, and a walk.
The 2 down brings up the pitcher number 22, Ava
Claire Nelson on deck, wanting her opportunity.
2, let's go!
2 away. Oakfield trying to punch their ticket to the Division 5 state championship game. Lamanska fires home, outside, good for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Assumption down, obviously, to the last out. Just needs to get a runner on base. The hot-hitting Claire Nelson coming up. Love to give her a chance to go ahead and step into one, but in order for that to happen, Ava's got to find a way to reach base, Steve.
The 0-1 to Schill. Going to be hit to left, and that one's going to get down. That one's going to get past Hoffman. Casey's going to score from first. And an RBI double for Ava Schill.
RBI double by Schill.
Assumption showing a lot of fight here with 2 outs as Ava Schill smokes a double down the left field line. It got past the left fielder all the way to the fence as she's standing on second. 7-5 Royals, and now comes up the hot-hitting Claire Nelson.
Sadie Galbraith awaits on deck. Nelson a fly out, a triple and a single today for the sophomore shortstop, Claire Nelson. Ava Schill stands at second base. There's no taking the senior out of the base running opportunity here. 7-5. First offering to Nelson is good for a strike. 7-5 Oakfield. A single run in the first, 3 in the third, 3 in the sixth for the Oaks. Assumption with 1 in the second and 3 in the third. 1 here in the seventh. 7-5 Oakfield. The 0-1 to Nelson. Lamanska misses high for a ball, and it's 1-1.
Nelson has done a really good job on jumping on the first hittable ball that she's seen today a couple different times that she's hit it hard.
1-1 to Nelson. Outside, miss, 2-1. Galbraith awaits on deck. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 away. Misses high, 3-1. Galbraith awaits on deck. Charlie Nelson says nothing above the neck. Can't chase him. 3-1. Galbraith on deck for the Royals. Lamanska fires home. And a walk to Claire Nelson. That was a don't want to give her anything too nice. And now Sadie Galbraith at the plate. And the senior right fielder. And they're going to have a quick conversation here with. They're going to have a quick conversation here on the infield. And don't forget, Heartland Farms postgame show will wrap up our broadcast here today. Nobody knows potatoes in Wisconsin quite like Heartland Farms. With roots in Amherst and now base in Hancock, this fifth-generation potato and vegetable farm produces many varieties of chipping potatoes, currently farming 27,000 irrigated acres and growing. Learn more about the best in the potato biz at heartland.farm. That's heartland.farm. 2 on, 2 out. Royals trail by 2. Galbraith at the plate. A walk, a pop out, and a ground out. The ground out and pop out to first. The senior right fielder. First offering is good for a strike. Macy Vollert on deck if the Royals need her. Sadie, one of the more improved hitters on this Royal lineup this year from last year. The 0-1. Going to be fouled back. Assumption out of their final strike. Schill stands at second. Nelson at first. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Galbraith takes a deep breath. Lamanska takes a deep breath. And the 0-2 from Alley. Misses high. 1-2. Beautiful Friday morning here in Madison. What a way to start semifinal Friday. The 1-2 misses high and away, 2-2. The oohs and ahs not close on the pitch from Lamanska. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Deuce is wild, 2 runners on, down 2. The 2-2 from Lamanska. Going to be hit to right. It's drifting and foul. Good hustle there by Vielbig. Galbraith another opportunity here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Winner to the championship game tomorrow morning.
Come on, Sadie. Here we go.
Galbraith on the 2-2. Going to be popped up. Foul territory. Over on it is Hoffman, and that will do it. And the Oakfield Oaks knock off the Assumption Royals 7-5. And the Royals see their season come to an end here in Madison in a state semifinal as Galbraith with the Tears and the Oakfield Oaks will play again in a division or in a state championship game tomorrow morning against the Pacelli Cardinals. We'll take a break here from Heartland Farms. We'll be back in 30 seconds on Zaleski Sports.
What Heartland Farms is a large potato and vegetable operation. Who Heartland Farms is a group of hardworking, dedicated people who have a common vision.
Heartland Farms is an accumulation of individuals who came from family farm backgrounds, grew up on family farms, and now have come together as one larger team to own and manage a much larger farm enterprise.
Welcome back to Goodman Diamond here in Madison as the Assumption Royals see their 2023 season come to an end against a phenomenal Oakfield Oaks team here today, 7-5. Royals gave it all they could. Oakfield just a little bit too much in the end. Again, a phenomenal high school career for the 4 Assumption seniors: Sadie Galbraith, Malia Colo, Kristen Casey, and Ava Schill. One of the most decorated classes in Assumption girls sports history, and they're going to be heading home early this year after a tough loss here today. Paul, we mentioned it throughout the broadcast. Oakfield, just an outstanding order, 1 through 9, could hit the ball. Ellie Lamonska did just enough in the circle to get the win here today.
Yeah, Steve, you have to give Oakfield nothing but 100% of the credit. 7 runs on 10 hits against Ava Schill is something we've not seen. And we talked about it at the top of the broadcast. This is the best hitting team that Assumption has played. Ava only had the 2 strikeouts, and what Oakfield did is they put the ball in play. And when you put the ball in play a lot, Assumption made some really outstanding plays, and they just missed making some plays that could have gone ahead and resulted in a different outcome. But baseball, they say, is a game of inches, or a game of catches or not catches, and a tip of the cap to Oakfield. Like I said, that's a really high quality team and a really high quality win in a very entertaining ball game.
And we'll have an outstanding Division 5 state championship game tomorrow. Oakfield Pacelli, 8 a.m. right here on Zaleski Sports. With that loss here today, that ends my season. That ends the Assumption high school season. Here on Zaleski Sports, volleyball, football, girls and boys basketball, baseball, softball, and soccer. It has been a pleasure once again to cover this phenomenal school in Wisconsin Rapids, and we thank you all for tuning in. We thank all of our sponsors. We've got Legion Baseball tomorrow, but Paul, thank you for all your help and support this school year. And it's a bummer it had to end this way, but another very good and accomplished sports season.
And Steve, we thank you and Jason on behalf of really the entire Assumption family. We're blessed to have the coverage from Zaleski Sports. We're blessed to have you as the voice of the Royals. Again, an entertaining contest. Unfortunately, in every game there has to be a winner and a loser. But a conference championship, a regional championship, a sectional championship, a state appearance. Absolutely nothing for the Royals to hang their heads over. But best of luck to Oakfield and Pacelli tomorrow as they battle for the Division 5 state title. Best of luck to Iola. And once again, thank you very much for Zaleski Sports and the opportunity to have me join you today.
It was a pleasure of mine. Always is. And once again, we thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to the Assumption School District and everybody that was a part of making these broadcasts possible this school season. For Mike Wendlandt, our producer, broadcast partner, Paul Jaglinski, this is Steve Mave signing off from UW-Madison and the Goodman Diamond. The Assumption Royals fall here today, 7-5 in a state semifinal in girls softball. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. We'll talk to you again next time here on Zaleski Sports.